Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Who are these people?
Notice me, senpai. Notice me.
Don't be rude.
Who are these people?
Who are these people? Well, excuse me. Welcome to Pro Wrestling Talk. We got plenty to talk about this week. It'll be a WrestleMania preview, not review. We haven't watched
preview.
it. Review.
We'll watch it next weekend.
Yeah. There's no show next weekend because we're watching WrestleMania. God, my allergies are acting up. I could barely breathe. But yeah, I mean, we got a lot to talk about. This WrestleMania is shaping up to be crap, but we're still going to watch it and still review it because it's WrestleMania. So it's like, yep. So on Raw, the build-up has not been good. It's like, I don't feel like a WrestleMania. Only matches that I'm interested in is
CM Punk.
CM Punk and Roman Reigns, Cody and Randy, even though they screwed it up with the whole Pat McAfee manipulation thing, which is absurd. And I'm looking forward to Oba and Brock. So other than that, I mean, this card is kind of bleh. It feels like a bad episode of SmackDown. That's what it feels like. Instead of being a WrestleMania, you know, every single match means something, and every single match has a story going into it, but a story that makes sense. Let's say these matches do have stories, but a lot of it is like, I don't care, or that makes no sense, or bleh. You know, it's like, I do want to see Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre in that unsanctioned match, but
I'm not really much. I don't think I'm going to look forward to Randy and Cody. I mean, no offense, but I'm more interested in CM Punk and Roman Reigns.
Which is
and
why
of
they're
course,
saving
Rhea
that for night two.
Right. So Rhea and Jade Cargill, because I think Rhea's going to take it. I hope, please. Because enough with Jade Cargill, okay? She's not doing good she didn't do good as a babyface. She's not doing really great as a heel. What have they done with her? What?
Hey Max, CBC, hey, fight, make love. I don't know. Yeah, that's. But yeah, so we got.
Let's make love, not
7
war.
plus 6. 7 plus 6 is 13 matches total. 7 for night 1. So far, 6 for night 2.
Really?
I'm assuming, yeah. So I'm assuming there's going to be some sort of in-ring segment like halfway through night 2 in order to make up for the time because they got like 4 hours to fill. So, and I don't expect Oba and Brock to go more than 10 minutes. So it's like, because you don't want to see Brock more than 10 minutes in the ring without being bored. So it's like.
I mean, to be honest, I am looking forward to that match. Yes. I want to see. Okay, this is just me, but I want to see Brock get his ass kicked by Oba. I'm really, I'm digging Oba Femi. I'm really digging him. I think if they want to maintain this thing, I think they need to come out, show he's a beast. He can beat Brock Lesnar in less than 10 minutes. Do it. Because look what they did with John Cena. I mean, they made John Cena look like a bitch. Like a little bitch.
Yeah, I'm like.
Do that with Brock Lesnar.
Cena claimed that he just did whatever he was told. I'm like, they made you look like a bitch, like you said during your retirement run, and you didn't do anything to stop it. Like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
I'm retiring.
But match with Brock Lesnar. I'm not going to have him come out and make me look like a fucking little bitch.
Yeah. So night 1. Night 1, we have. I assume, I'm not sure this will open the show or not, but I'm just going to go in order the way to have it here. So we have a 6-man tag division: Logan Paul and Austin Theory, and I show Speed with Paul Heyman versus the Usos and LA Knight. So they stuck LA Knight in this like celebrity match, basically.
Poor LA Knight. That guy is so growing on me, and he so deserves a better shot than that.
Yeah, it's like I show Speed. That's the guy. That's the streamer that Braun Breaker nearly killed at last year's Royal Rumble. So I found that hilarious. But
it's like the Dennis Rodman thing. Yeah. It's like the Dennis Rodman thing. They did the same thing with Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone in 1998. Does anyone remember that? Of course you do if you are older than, well, if you're as old as we are or older.
I guarantee you those two are good athletes and better workers than fucking I Show Speed. So it's like, so yeah, even though they were both older by the time they had that match, but I guarantee you they're better workers than fucking I Show Speed. All you can do is you probably do the flips, but you can't actually wrestle.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is they all think that, again, with the Vince Russo thing that happened in 1999, again, I was 13. You were almost 13, where Vince Russo said, hell, anyone can do it. Hey, David Arquette, come here. You want to wrestle?
At one point, Vince Russo was like, I'm a great worker. He told that.
Yeah, I'm a great worker. He never fucking wrestled a day in his fucking life. Never took a bump.
Yeah, so it's this. It's like,
man, shut the fuck up with that bullshit.
Exactly. I can't believe that we're even talking about that. And again, you might as well just spit on everyone who had that WCW belt, including Bret Hart, I might add, who had that WCW heavyweight championship belt, because I mean, fucking Russo had it and David Arquette had it. And everyone knew that David Arquette should not have that belt. But it was like a joke by then. It was like, oh, well, I didn't do this.
Even David Arquette said, I shouldn't have this belt. Are you sure? Like, I'm gonna be the champion? It's like, oh yeah, you'll be a champion. You know, you don't have to do anything. You just show up with the belt every week. It's like, but he didn't want to be the champion. He's like, look, I like wrestling and I'm here, but I'm not going to be the champion. He's, oh yes, you are. And he actually pinned Eric Bischoff to win the belt, if I remember correctly. So it was just a joke by that point. WCW title. So who we got in this match? I'm probably gonna take the Vision and the Streamer because he's not gonna lose, so it sucks, but that's the way it's probably gonna go.
Well, and the Vision, everyone's hurt. That's anybody who's anybody.
Oh, the Vision, right? The Vision, the joke. Seth Rollins is out of it. He got hurt. Braun Breaker had the hernia, so he probably gonna miss Mania. The other one, the big guy, Bronson Reed got hurt.
Reed got hurt. I mean, for fuck's sake, everybody's going down to the Vision. It's not a Vision anymore. It's more.
You might as well separate these guys and let them go on the singles runs. Instead, it's like they're continuing the Vision.
You know?
For some reason. And they still have Paul Heyman with them, even though there's really no reason for him to be there, because it just the two guys that are left are not really stars. And Logan Paul is probably he's a star because he's a streamer and stuff. But yeah, I mean, he's not a wrestler. He's a celebrity. Yeah.
Well, he's a what we call Logan Paul. I call him a what is that? Silver spoon. Born with a silver spoon in his mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Logan Paul.
So yeah, I'll probably take the Vision and I Show Speed, unfortunately. Let's see.
Because every time LA Knight, and I bet you LA Knight takes the pin. Because he always has to keep the pin.
Yeah.
Why is Triple H doing this? Okay, so he screwed up the main event, but he didn't do it on purpose. One. Second of all, I mean, why would you even have him do a finish that, oh, well, we're going to put you over? Well, you did it. He's the lost.
Yeah, he's the one that lost, but somehow it's supposed to be to put him over strong. So you put him over strong in defeat, but why not just give him the briefcase?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
All right. Seth Rollins comes out and pretends he's fucking hurt. And again, nobody really believed that Seth Rollins was hurt.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it the first time, and I almost didn't believe it the second time. I was on this show saying, I don't think he's hurt. I think that's all just bullshit. They're going to come back. You know, he's going to come back and you know, he's not going to have the surgery and blah, blah, blah. And
he'll cash in on Punk and become the champion, which is what ended up happening. So it left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. It's like Punk's finally the world champion after being back for like 2 or 3 years, and they take it off him within 5 minutes. So it's like, yeah, then it left a bad taste in everyone's mouth.
But now he is a champion, and that's good. It's the thing with Seth Rollins that when he came back, he always told Punk, I would never let you be champion as long as there's breath in my body. Well, he came back, but again, what we wanted to see was Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker.
Yeah, but
But we
he
can't
got
have that either because Braun hurt himself. Poor Braun.
Yeah,
Well,
he had the issue with the hernia. I mean, he had emergency surgery. Now he's not going to be able to come back into after Mania probably.
and whoever said
So-
that he could come back before Mania, you are an idiot.
Yeah, that's the internet bullshit. You know, it's not real. They get everything wrong anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right, the next match listed here is the unsanctioned match between Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. So these two have been killing each other week after week on TV, and they finally going to go at it in an unsanctioned match, which is basically a no DQ match, but it's unsanctioned because it's unsanctioned because these two guys are so dangerous. WWE can't sanction the match because they'll get sued if either one of them get hurt. So that's why it's like it's unsanctioned. So,
but we're gonna just let them kill each other and have at it, boys. I mean, are we tired of this yet? Where we expected, and I mean, even what we expected, it's horrible.
Yeah, the build has not been. It's the same thing every week. They're beating each other up. It probably would have been better if they did what the rumored plan was, which is the fatal 4-way for the WWE title. Instead, they took it out and had him go 1-on-1 instead, and had Cody and Randy go 1-on-1. So,
well, and I guess they did that because we were kind of like, okay, boys, enough with the 4-ways, right? We're tired of it. Well, the problem is that would have made more sense than this 1-on-1 shit. And then the whole McAfee thing, and we're just like, what? Darth Vader is fucking Pat McAfee?
Basically, it makes no sense. Like, so
is he gonna come out in like Sith contacts? Like the eyes of the Sith or something? That would be even worse.
It makes no sense. So I think Jacob wins because Drew McIntyre is probably going away anyway. So after Mania, so it's like Jacob wins. He'll get probably a huge bump off of that.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope it's a better bump than what they've been giving him. But I heard that he really did have like mouth surgery.
Yeah, he was hurt too a little bit, which is why they had nothing for him for Mania until they threw together him and Drew at the last second, pretty much.
Right.
So the next match on this card has the women's world title match between Stephanie McMahon and Liv Morgan. Did you see that backstage segment on Raw they did this past Monday where Liv Morgan and not Raquel, the other one, Roxanne, like banged heads together?
No. I unfortunately have account issues because I was actually watching Netflix with on my neighbor's account, and the account is not up to date. So
I'll put it here. Hold on. Because Stevie Richards covered it on his show, and it's like less than a minute. So just listen to their skulls. Like, I can't play it here for obvious reasons, but listen to their skulls just bump into each other. It's like one of the most sickening sounds you can possibly hear.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's like that crack of two skulls when they bump together. It's like, and now both Liv and Roxanne have concussions, so that match is in question. So we don't know whether it's going to happen or not.
Oopsie.
So a lot of people are blaming Stephanie for that spot. She shoved her way too hard, and she shoved Liv way too hard into Roxanne, so they kind of banged heads, and they both have really bad concussions. So this match could be out, honestly, because of that reason. They're hoping Liv will be ready by Mania, but it's a week away. I don't know whether bad concussion take a while to recover from. So if this match happens, the build's been kind of like, Stephanie's run as champion has been meh because all the top opponents are doing something else or hanging out in the mid card.
Mm-hmm.
Like Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax and all these other girls are all hanging around the mid card, like, yeah, we're just gonna have fun with our friends here in the mid card, and kind of leave Stephanie twisting in the wind with no opponents. So, so I just don't, they kind of sabotage her title run here.
Of course.
I don't know who wins this match. I mean, I hope Stephanie keeps the belt, but why? I mean, she has no opponents anyways, and no guarantee. It might be better chasing the belt from Liv Morgan than to keep this title and do what with it. They don't even have another opponent for her probably after Mania, so it's more like the same bullshit they've been doing now.
Right.
Just throwing Roxanne, probably throwing Raquel at her again, or maybe one of the Bellas, because Bailey's also hanging around the mid card for no reason. She's a tag team with Lyra Valkyria, so it's like all the top girls are either hanging around the tag team division or they're just doing nothing with them. Like Bianca Belair is gone. Like she's been out. She's had like one match in the last 2 years. Like, and that's a WrestleMania last year, I think. And then she's gone again. Apparently she's hurt again. It's like, what the hell's going on with her? I mean, she's one of the top girls in this division, and she's gone for now years, pretty much. So, if you hear the skulls, their skulls is banging against each other.
I had to watch that again. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's brutal. It's like the sickening sound of two skulls, like banging into each other. Like, okay, whose fault is that? I don't think Stephanie probably shoved her way too hard. And there are people speculating that Stephanie doesn't like Liv, which is why she's being like stiff with her. But it's like, I don't know how true that is, but
I'm sorry, I don't want to watch it again, but I had to watch it a second time. I'm like, oh God, that hurts my head, and I'm not even in the damn match.
Yeah.
Well, it was an accident. I'm sure Steffi didn't try it, and I'm sure Liv should have been ready for it. I mean, she's the veteran. She should know this shit.
Yeah, I mean, she's been in WWE now for years, so I'm not sure who produced that segment or booked it or whatever, but probably Liv and Roxanne shouldn't have been so close to each other, especially if Stephanie would shove her that hard.
It should have I mean, there's a way you can shove someone, I guess, if you kind of like push on the back of their head a little bit, but this was more like boom.
Yeah, this is banged head.
Oh my God. So what I think, this could be called into question because I wouldn't be surprised if she has a concussion. I said, I don't think Stephanie did it on purpose. I just think that like Liv was not ready for it, or somebody wasn't ready for it, and I mean, that hurt my head watching it.
Yeah, it's brutal. Yeah, it's just brutal. So Stephanie, I don't know who wins this match. I mean, I hope Stephanie does, but they're probably going to go and Liv because, they like her, so she's probably going to be the champion, and Stephanie's probably going to chase her for a few months. So let's see. The next match, I'm not looking forward to this at all. They're two over-the-hill wrestlers, AJ Lee and Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental belt.
Again? Didn't we solve this at Elimination Chamber?
No, they're doing it one more time.
Man, they're going to give it right back to Becky Lynch.
Probably, because AJ Lee is going to disappear for 6 months again. So
yeah, I mean, enough is enough. We're tired of seeing AJ Lee. Okay, you came back. It's been nice knowing you, but you're getting old again. They're kind of like not. They're not into her as much as I thought that they would be. I mean, she was gone for 10 years, and now it's kind of like, okay, well, you were gone for 10 years, but we can't miss you if you don't go away again.
Yeah, she got the initial pop when she returned, but after that, it was like,
yeah. I don't see her keeping this belt.
No. They gave it to her just as a, just to, say she won a belt, but I don't think she's going to keep it long term because she's going to be gone again. So I think Becky takes his belt. So
yeah, well, and she's no spring chicken anymore either. I mean, I'm not saying that CM Punk is, young. He's not. But well, someone told me like, I can't believe this person is still wrestling into their 40s. I went, for fuck's sake, Kurt Hennig was almost 45 and still wrestling. Come on. And of course, Kurt looked the part. You know, he was buff and going to the gym, and he was not on steroids. No way. He just, ate right and, went into the gym.
Yeah. So,
by the way, I just want to make an announcement. If you are looking for that Funko Pop Mr. Perfect doll, it is a bitch to find. They did not put it up on Amazon yet. They did not put it up on that Entertainment Earth or whatever. I know. I looked. It took me fucking 2 hours to actually find something. But if you actually go on eBay.com and look it up, you will find it. But you won't get it till June. I was like, this says it won't come till June. So I just bought some other Mr. Perfect action figures and then, stuck that in there. So they have to send it in June. They have to send it in June. So if you're looking for it, I can get you the eBay website if you're looking for the Funko Pop Mr. Perfect. I can't believe they have an Eric Bischoff on. I am not kidding y'all. I saw Eric Bischoff. I was like, what the fuck? They have Eric Bischoff before they have fucking Kurt Hennig? What the fuck? This ain't right. They had everybody. They had Hogan when he was in the red and yellow, when he was in the red and black, when he was in the white and black. I'm like, I don't fucking want Hogan. They did have Stone Cold, and they had two of them. They had regular Stone Cold and then the Stone Cold that says what? Yeah. But that one is sold out. But I was like, what? I really want the Stone Cold one. So perfect for now.
No. So the next match is the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the women's tag title. The champions, the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jackson, Last Legend versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus the Bella Twins. It's going to be like 2, 4, 6, 8 girls around the ring at the same time. So
they tried to do that at Survivor Series back in '89, and it was '88. They did like this fucking tag team Survivor Series bullshit where they had like literally 10 guys on the ring apron. And it's like, what the fuck?
It looked ridiculous. Yeah,
it did. It did. Mm-hmm. There was no room. Half of them had to sit on stand on the, on the steps.
Yeah. It wasn't good. They never did it again after that. So
well, now they're doing it with the girls.
Yeah, they kind of scrapped that after '88. So, I don't know who wins this belt. And quite frankly, it's like it seems like Charlotte and Bayley are kind of content to being in the mid card. So that's why Stephanie's kind of being like twisting in the wind as champion with nobody to wrestle.
Right, so, and she only has Liv Morgan who can't wrestle, and even though she's a veteran, I don't know how any of these girls get by.
They found Liv Morgan. They hired her directly when she was working the Hooters. Like one of the WWE producers, who I don't know who it was, probably Laurinaitis, saw her at a Hooters and just hired her right out of Hooters. So
I mean, no offense, but I got more than Liv Morgan has. Sorry. And I'm not tooting my own horn, toot, but I'm just saying I am more built than Liv Morgan. Probably look better in a Hooters shirt than she does.
Probably the Bella Twins because they're returning and they're twins, so they're probably gonna get these belts at Mania.
I mean, they don't. No offense, but they don't deserve it.
No, I know,
would
but
like to see, and
they're
I
like
don't.
The legends. So.
Well, yeah, but I would like to kind of see Charlotte and Alexa take it. Only because Charlotte is not mid-card, but yet they pushed her back down to mid-card. I saw something about her. She's like, I'm 40 now because her birthday is April 5th. She turned 40 on April 5th. And I can't believe she's like 15 days older than me. I'm like, fuck you, bitch. No, my birthday, I'm really not looking forward to turning 40. Trust me.
Yeah.
Shut up because you're in August and you will be 40 in August. But anyway, it's I kind of want Charlotte to get it, even though I hate her old man. Her old man is in that fucking commercial for something. I forgot what it was now. Something for like car insurance, I think. Something like that. And it's like, he's like, woo! I'm like, are you fucking drunk doing this fucking commercial? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Probably.
Who let him in the commercial? Did someone say, oh, I love Ric Flair? Ric Flair is a drunk.
Yeah, probably what it was.
He is
like
a lush.
The owner of that company probably was like, let me get Ric Flair. I love Ric. I grew up watching him.
I grew up watching Ric Flair. Well, Ric Flair is
company.
a nothing. He is a character that the real person, I forget Rick's real name. It's Richard something.
Yeah.
But that is who he plays. It's a character. It is not who that real person is. Though I tend to say that Flair doesn't know who he is.
Yeah.
He's lost himself in the character of the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Yeah. So I tend to think that all I kept saying to my dad was, I can't believe they have him on TV where he's sober. Because he did those cameos and was charging like $600 or more to literally go to a bar and go, you shouldn't get married. You should just stay single. And you couldn't even fucking really tell what he was saying. He was
He's like, Flair is like, why you get married, motherfucker?
Why you get married, motherfucker? It's like, dude,
it wasn't.
Get on AA. Go to AA. You need an AA, like intervention right now.
So they put together a random match because they have nothing for these two, but the next match is Seth Rollins versus Gunther. So they just threw these two together.
Me? I thought it was supposed to be against Logan Paul.
No,
or someone in the Vision. It makes no sense for Gunther. Gunther's not in the Vision.
Yeah, just threw this match together because they had nothing for either of them. So it's like, okay, let's just throw them with Gunther. Apparently, they're teasing a Paul Heyman Gunther like association on Raw this past Monday. So they're kind of teasing that.
So maybe they're teasing that Gunther's going to go and join the Vision.
Maybe. Yeah, something like that. He's going to be a Paul Heyman guy, be joined Division or something like that. So they're kind of teasing that on Raw. So
Gunther is a good wrestler. Seth Rollins is not. I'm sorry. I don't like Seth Rollins. But Gunther is a good worker. And I don't even like Gunther. But he is a good worker, and I think he's going to get the best that he can out of Seth Rollins. It might be an interesting match, but only from the Gunther side of it that he is a good worker.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Gunther on this one. I think Gunther should win.
He should win, but Seth
Rollins. But they probably won't.
So probably Seth will
He's like Sting with the not with the mask, but like, you know how Sting would come out and they always, you know, the black, all the people with the black hoods came down. Yeah. That was like that Sting bullshit back in the 90s. They had all those things come down. Excuse me, before Halloween Havoc in 1997. That I hated that then, and they're trying to do that in WWE. Stop doing that shit. I didn't like it in 97. Okay, I was 11 years old. I didn't like it then, and I sure as hell didn't like Sting then either.
Yeah, well,
but it's already been done. But everyone comes down in the black hoods, and you're like, oh my god, it's the Sting shit all over again.
Yeah, it's not good. All right. The next match is the WWE Championship match between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton with Pat McAfee. So the stipulation if Orton loses, McAfee will leave professional wrestling for good.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. So it sounds like Randy Orton's
they're kind of giving it away. Randy's going to win this title at the pay-per-view at WrestleMania.
Dropping your like. Are you trying to get to 40? You drop your like, you get to 40 and Mrs.Witchy has to go topless. That's the thing. That is the thing. Yeah. Even on Pro Wrestling Talk. Not just Angel in the Afternoon.
So Randy's going to get this belt.
Yeah, so they're kind of tipping the scales and saying that Randy Orton is going to win it because, again, Pat McAfee leaving wrestling forever, I don't think so. I mean, we know that he leaves when football season comes into town, so he will eventually leave, but forever? No, I don't think so. Pat McAfee was a great commentator, he was good-ish.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of their better ones, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But especially with him and Michael Cole, I'd say like him and Michael Cole are like are comparable to Jerry Lawler and JR. Comparable, they're not the same, but you know, it's they bounce ideas off of each other, and they bounce, you know, good, you know, conversations off, and they make each other laugh, which Lawler used to say JR would always make him laugh. So it's kind of well, and then they also said on Superstars, Vince would always say this, that Kurt made him laugh heavily. Every time they did commentary together, they were always laughing at what Kurt was doing, right? Because Kurt's that kind of guy that he just likes to make everyone laugh, you know, and he laughs too. I have bloopers on my, and I'll show them to everyone tomorrow. I'll have to edit it out for YouTube purposes because it does have music in it, but I'll show everybody the bloopers that I think are on his DVD. I think it's from The Life and Times of Mr. Perfect. Someone edited just that part and put it on X, and I kind of stole it from X. So, So we'll do that tomorrow for my birthday bash. I hope you can join because I mean you don't.
I should be able to. Yeah, I don't. So yeah, Randy's gonna get this belt. This whole Pat McAfee thing was allegedly or apparently Ari Emanuel's idea, the CEO of TKO.
Because isn't he like McAfee's manager or something?
Yeah, he's an agent, Hollywood agent. That was his initially. So yeah, he's still representing, you know, celebrities in Hollywood, even though he's the CEO of TKO. So it's like, dude, like he did the same thing last year. He kind of fucked Cody last year with the whole Rock thing.
Right. You know, Rock was there and then Rock was gone. Too.
Yeah.
We're like, where did The Rock go? Anybody see The Rock lately?
No, he fucked the whole main event last year with Cody and Cena by insisting Rock showing up at Elimination Chamber. It did this whole Cody, I want your soul shit. And they turned Cena heel off of that. So it's like, what?
I mean, I'm sitting there going, he wants his soul. Why? Are they soulmates? What the fuck? That wasn't good. And then again, it was like The Rock was literally done.
He's gone.
Bye.
Like he didn't.
No one ever saw The Rock again. I thought we were going to put him on some milk cartons to see if someone could find him.
Yeah, if you start an angle, you got to see it through, but he didn't. He just disappeared. And somehow Travis Scott basically helped Cena win the belt, which was terrible on top of that.
And he literally, what do they call that? Shoot. Well, I mean, he botched it. He botched he really botched it for real.
Yeah,
if I were Cody, I would have been wailing on his ass, you know.
He was apparently Travis Scott backed out of a 6-man tag in Money in the Bank, where him and Cody were supposed to do something, but he backed out of it the last second. Eventually, I think he might have. I don't remember, but I hope he did. I don't remember him actually getting a receipt back from Travis Scott. I think he backed out of the match before he can get a receipt. So yeah, now here we go again.
I would have been punking him. Backstage, motherfucker.
Yeah,
punching him in the face or something. He could have done some severe damage to Cody's ear. I mean, there was no warning. Rock just said, hit him hard, hit him as hard as you can, and he did.
Yeah. So, yeah, Cody's probably going to lose again this year at WrestleMania. His record at WrestleMania since coming back, it's like 1-4. Like he lost to Roman 2-4, 2-5, something like that. He beat Seth Rollins when he came back. He lost to Roman. He beat Roman the next year. He's lost to Cena, and now he's going to lose to Randy again. So he's probably like 2-4, 2-5 in the main event. So he's not like he had a good record. So yeah, let's get to night 2 because we got 6 more matches to go over here. The first one listed here is Oba versus Brock in that singles match. So,
like I said, I'm going to take Oba because, like I said, this is what I think has to happen at this point.
Yeah.
Everyone so far has been a bitch to Brock Lesnar. How about the other way around? How about Obafemi makes Brock Lesnar his bitch? Especially with these new allegations, allegedly, these new allegations that Brock Lesnar basically exposes himself to women. Like, people want to see your junk, Brock Lesnar. Come on. I don't want to see your dick.
So,
I mean, really. At this point, I'm just like, oh my God.
Beating Obafemi here makes no sense. So that's why I don't think they're going to beat him here. So he has to win this match. It would make him look
weak. It would literally make him look weak, like he doesn't he doesn't know what he's doing. So
and you can't do a long-term feud because Brock is going to be gone after Mania. He's not going to come back probably until SummerSlam, most likely. So he's going to be gone anyway. So
I don't know about. Or do they just want to keep him away? You know, like, how can we miss you if you don't leave, right? And then he comes back for a little bit, and we're like, what the hell is Brock Lesnar doing here?
Yeah, so Oba has to win this match.
Oba has to make Brock Lesnar his bitch. I don't know, expose yourself. Maybe Brock will stop doing that. Allegedly.
Yeah, you have 10. So this match ain't going to go longer than 10 minutes. Like, Brock, who can't go longer than 10 minutes anymore, and Oba, there's no reason to have this match go more than 10 minutes.
That's right. Because Brock should be in his late 40s.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's other matches on this card probably going to go longer, so they're going to – actually, this next match. We have a six-pack ladder match for the Intercontinental title. We have Penta the champion versus Javon Evans versus Dragon Lee versus JD McDonough versus Rusev versus Rey Mysterio.
You already saw me roll my eyes at this. I don't really fucking care who wins. I'm going to go to the bathroom during this match or something. What the fuck? This is mid-card at its best. And I'm not saying Rey Mysterio was never good. He was good in WCW. But, I mean, boys, the dream is over. Rey Mysterio, it has passed it. I hate to say that because I do like Dominic.
Rey wanted to retire after this Mania, but the WWE... Triple H's initial plan was have Gunther retire him, but Rey wanted Dominic, his son, to retire him. So Rey kind of backed out of the match against Rusev and politicked his way to the Intercontinental ladder match instead. So Rey's an old school worker, so he knows how to politic his way into something else. So,
yeah, I mean, he was great in WCW. I used to love to watch him and Eddie Guerrero and Juventud Guerrera. No relation, I'm sure.
He didn't want to have Gunther retire him like he did to everybody else. So it's like, nah, I want my son to retire me. So we'll do that match down the line, and I'll stick around for a few more months. Maybe do it at SummerSlam or something. So,
I mean, guys, he's past it. I remember Rey in WCW when they made him take his mask off. Juventud Guerrera, same thing. I remember when they made Juventud Guerrera take his mask off, and people were like, "Who the hell is that?" Go back to WCW 1997.
I'm surprised that Juventud agreed to that because he's kind of an asshole. Nobody likes him, and he refuses to do jobs and stuff.
He was such a good-looking kid. I was like, "Whoa, he's cute."
Then eventually he got hired by Vince, and they forced him into this Mexican landscaper gimmick. Like they would literally come out in like lawnmowers.
What happened to the LWO? Well, we see what happened to the LWO. Rey Mysterio kind of took it over, you know, and now it's like a former shell of itself.
And Vince actually never used it. It was more like Triple H bringing back the LWO for reasons. Like it really didn't have much to do with
bringing back the NWO. No, just leave the NWO in WCW. It never should have came back. They never should have had Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Hogan. Even if those were the three original NWO members, it still made no sense to bring it to WWF because it wasn't a WWF idea.
They're all past their primes at that point, especially Nash. He only had one knee anyway, so he couldn't really move.
He blew that out at whatever.
He tore his quad in like a six-man tag. In a random six-man tag Vince had him do. And he's like, Vince, I don't have my knee brace. It's like, oh, come on, do this match for me. It's like, I'll give you more money or something. Nash did the match in 5 minutes.
Diesel. They should have brought him back against Diesel.
And then he tore his quad, and it's like he was gone for like a year. So
right. And now he does his own show. I do like Click This. I think it's called.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a good podcast.
It's a good podcast, and the guy who does it with him did older interviews with like Bret Hart. If
Yeah.
you go to titlematch.com,
He did kayfabe commentaries. That was his
yes.
company. He would interview a lot of wrestlers. They were great interviews, great shoot interviews.
Great shoot interviews. I watch them all the time. And I finally found I actually went back into the archives, and they did the one with Sergeant Slaughter, who admitted at Royal Rumble 1991 was not supposed to win the belt. Was not supposed to win.
Slaughter claims that he was not supposed to get that belt, even though it was supposed to be Hogan Warrior 2 when Hogan gets his win back.
There was glass in Warrior's hair. So, I mean, don't piss off the Macho Man.
Yeah. Hogan was supposed to get his win back from Warrior at WrestleMania 7, I think that would have been that year. So, so instead, Macho Man comes out and fucking nails Warrior for real with a scepter and just like knocks him out, apparently.
Warrior broke Savage's wrist.
So
don't piss
Savage
off the Macho Man, guys.
Oh yeah!
Bam!
So he nailed him
hit him
with
so hard.
Scepter.
Slaughter said that there was glass still in the dude's hair.
And then Slaughter pinned him, and he's like,
he said he did an elbow drop. It was supposed to be 1, 2, and then Warrior was supposed to kick out. Warrior was out cold.
He didn't kick out.
He didn't move until finally he's like,
he kind of popped up after. If you notice, if I remember correctly, it takes a minute for Slaughter's music to play. Yes. Because he wasn't supposed to win that belt, so they kind of had to re-rack shit and then play his music. Because usually they have the winner's music.
And it was dead quiet. You could hear the fans kind of like, wait, what? What the hell just happened? Everyone was shocked. Look at the fans at Royal Rumble 91. They're all like,
it wasn't much of a reaction for Slaughter getting this belt.
That wasn't supposed to happen, was it? No,
yeah,
you're absolutely right. It shouldn't have been Slaughter. But then they actually benefited from it because of the whole Iraqi war sympathizer thing and made it like the all-American Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter.
So they kind of, accidentally stumbled onto
that type of match where they sold out it wasn't the Coliseum. What was it?
No. It was the LA Sportatorium, something like
that. Sportatorium, but they sold that completely out.
Yeah, initially Vince wanted to do it at the LA Coliseum,
right.
100,000 seats, but the ticket sales were terrible for it. So it's like, let's just move it to the Sportatorium. So
Vince wouldn't pay for the extra security because weren't they getting like threats?
Yeah, they were getting. Sergeant Slaughter's getting threats.
Oh yeah, people were like, "I know where your kids go to school," and he's like,
Holy shit, this is real now. This is real now. Yeah.
Real fast.
My kids could be in trouble.
Yeah.
So, people are believing this angle. This is good for the angle, but at the same time, I don't want my kids to be risked.
And Bobby, who is his real name, he just was like, I never wanted to put my family in any danger. I only did it because, it just seemed what Vince wanted at the time. Because, again, he had just come off of doing the G.I. Joe stuff. Yeah. He was pretty popular with the G.I. Joe stuff. So, when you see that whole Sergeant Slaughter turns to Iraqi sympathizer, and then, of course, they brought in the Iron Sheik, became Mustafa. And then Adnan Casey becomes General Adnan. They just took the Casey off of it, but he was from AWA. Nobody knew who the fuck he was, unless you watched AWA.
Yeah, AWA. Yeah, not many WWF fans watched AWA, unless they happened to catch it on ESPN at the time, a few years before that. So
right. Pretty much by then, AWA was almost out of business.
Yeah.
They survived till maybe 91. But
it was dead pretty much by that point.
Dead pretty much, yeah. The stars like Mick Foley and Brian Adams, who were still in AWA, were moving on to, Mick Foley would go to, I think, ECW for a little bit and then go to WCW for a little bit, but nobody really remembers Foley as much as they did went to the WWF. Yeah.
That was reversed. I think Foley went to Japan first. He had a run there, and then he signed for WCW. because
Okay.
Cornette talked about using him, because initially Foley was just a job guy that they didn't. So Cornette and I think Kevin Sullivan would book the job guys
Yeah.
for Flair. So the story, Jim Cornette wanted to use Foley because like, oh, this is a unique guy. I don't want to use him. So it's like,
and he would do fucking anything. He would do like
Mick
stunts from the rafters and stuff. I mean, he thought that was that hardcore stuff, kind of like he was like another Terry Funk, but I mean, Terry Funk was getting older now. He wasn't able to do the hardcore stuff as much as Mick Foley was.
So yeah, eventually they kind of backdoored him into a job because they hired him. And they did. I think Cornette tells a story about how they had him wrestle male mascaras at a clash because they happened to be in Texas. So they brought in mascaras to beat Foley, and it's like Foley's like whatever. I mean, just do that spot, where I'm not sure you've seen this match. He does this spot where he drop kicks him, and Foley just like takes that bump off and bangs his head on the concrete floor.
Ooh, no.
I'm not sure you've seen that match. I've seen it. It's like, oh my God. Cornette's idea is like, yeah, we'll get you over that way because it's such a brutal bump that the fans will sympathize with you and like you more, which is what ended up happening. But eventually, Mascaras won the match. Nobody really cared. They wanted to see Foley. Eventually, Foley beat up some country singer that was there. I forget who it was. I think he was a wrestler. He's a former wrestler, too. I forget who it was right now. But he beat up some country singers. Yeah, it might have been him. He beat up some country singer after the match, so because he wanted to do something physical. Like, I want to do something physical at the show, so they had Foley just kick his ass after the match.
Well, Chad Brock, if you know anything about Chad Brock, he was a wrestler.
Yeah, he was a wrestler
for WCW back in 1996. No one really remembers that because, again, he was like a jobber kind of person. I don't know if they were going to give him some kind of push or anything, but I read up that he had a career-ending injury, so he also could sing. So he went into country music and had a couple of great hits. I like his "Lightning Does the Work." That's the only one I like from him. I don't like "She Said Yes." It's kind of like redundant. Okay, she said yes. Whoopee. Who cares, right? But no, I did like Chad Brock, especially him, and of course, him and Kurt had a little tit for tat. When Kurt was in the West Texas Rednecks. So of course I remember that. But yeah, it was probably Chad Brock more than anybody.
Yeah, he beat up some country singer at a clash. So anyways, Flair didn't like Foley. It was more Cornette and Sullivan who liked Foley, which is why, Flair was the head booker, but Cornette and Sullivan would use him pretty much on the shows. So
I heard that not a lot of people like Flair as booker, especially Randy Savage.
Yeah.
That motherfucker gonna ruin my because they it was Stevie Ray in an interview, and he was talking about how him and his brother were facing Randy and somebody else, I forgot. But Randy Savage was in a tag team match with the Booker T and Stevie Ray in WCW, and they wanted Booker T to kick out of Savage's elbow drop, which is his finish. So it would have fucked up his finish, and I mean, why even have a finish after that? If
I'm sure Savage was like, "Oh no, he's not kicking out of my finish.
That motherfucker's gonna ruin my everything. What the fuck? My finisher is and they want you." And Stevie Ray said, "Calm down, Randy. Calm down, Macho Man. We're not going to do that. We're going to do something else." And I guess no one said anything, though. Stevie Ray and Booker T could have gotten in really serious trouble because that was what Flair wanted as the finish. He wanted Booker T to kick out of Savage's finisher.
And they were like, "No, don't worry, we're not going to do that."
Yeah, we're not going to screw you.
We're not going to disrespect you that way.
Right. So, it was very disrespectful to do that to any superstar, really. It would be like, now I know Kurt let some people do it, like Brett, for example, the Giant did it. I don't remember who else kicked out of the Perfect Plex or the Hennig Plex, depending on if he was in WCW or WWF.
Well, I know Brett did. Brett kicked out.
He let
Big Show kicked out too on Paul.
He let Big Show.
Giant, whatever, yeah.
But there's like a handful of people. I can count on my one hand how many people kicked out of the Hennig Plex versus Now today, where they kick out of fucking everything.
Everything. There's no such thing as a
Everything.
finish now.
They had to do the finisher 3 or 4 times before they will not kick out.
Savage did the whole.
That doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah, basically. But I mean, again, it was disrespectful back then. It was like 94, 95 when he was in this tag
Also,
team
Savage-
match with Booker T and
Even
Stevie
though
Ray.
the official story was Hogan got hit by a jet ski at WrestleMania 9, allegedly it was Savage who punched him in the eye at WrestleMania 9.
If you listen to Cornette talks about this, and they talked about this interview they had with Ed, who is depending on where you were, he's Brutus Beefcake.
Brutus claimed
that he hit it. You know, his eye was like almost coming out. I'm like, trust me, if a jet ski hits you in the eye, I don't know if your whole eye would be hanging. I don't think you just get a bruise. But according to Jim Cornette, they tore this story all apart and said, Ed, I don't know where they got that. Where Ed got that story, I have no idea where they got that story. It's a terrible story and a terrible lie. And they tore it all apart. And he said, no, of course it was Savage totally attacked him in the gym. And that was for Miss Elizabeth, bam!
Yeah, he thought that Hogan and Elizabeth had something, and that was it.
And because it was Liz who ran to, according to Linda Hogan, or Linda Balea, ex-wife of Hogan, she said that Liz came to run into her. Again, I don't know. I wasn't there, and I don't know Miss Elizabeth personally, but of all people to go to, I guess her and Linda Hogan or Linda Balea were best friends at the time.
Yeah, because Savage, Hogan, and the wives would hang out all the time.
Yeah,
this is before Savage had the issues with Hogan in the 90s, but in the 80s they used to hang out together all the time, which is why they were all best friends with each other.
Right.
Eventually, the issue became Savage started getting that main event push, and Hogan was jealous, so they started having the issues.
Right.
And after that,
well, and the whole you have lust for Elizabeth shit.
Yeah.
Apparently, that is true too. That Randy thought that Hogan was kind of like looking at.
Yeah.
I'm like, she chose you, Randy. She chose you, not anyone else. She chose you. And him being so possessive of her just
that drove her away. Eventually.
I love the Macho Man. I really do. I love him. I love him as a wrestler, but
it drove Liz away eventually because she had enough of it. They were married like 10 years. And by the time they did that wedding in SummerSlam, what was it, 93 or whatever it
91.
was? 91. They did the wedding. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were pretty much separated by that point. So in real life. So it was like, that was way too late to do that wedding, Vince, but they were pretty much separated by that point. But
by the way, Doink did not beat Kurt Hennig. He did not beat Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect won the King of the Ring spot. Well, they had 3 matches. It was him and Doink. They had one on Superstars. The other one was on Wrestling Challenge, and the third one, they always kept going to draws because him and Matt Bourne are both second generation. And back in 93, it was Matt Bourne who was Doink.
Yeah.
Who eventually would be Steve Kern, and then they would have Dink in there, and I'm like, this is stupid. But anyway, Matt Bourne fucked that up. All right.
I think Matt Bourne was the best Doink, even though he did fuck that up eventually. He got fired, but he got himself fired. But he's probably the best Doink out of all of them.
I'd rather have Mr. Perfect inside me. Okay, anyway.
So let's get back to WrestleMania here. We kind of
we go
on
on tangents,
which is fine.
We can go on tangents tomorrow on my show.
Yeah, that's why I told Alex don't come on because it's going to take us a while to review this, and we'll probably go on tangents. So it'll probably take longer than we need more time. So.
Well, they had that WrestleMania 9 thing coming back out where I did see like the behind the scenes. And of course, Kurt is always laughing. He's always like, what
Hogan. That was WrestleMania where Hogan cashed in his Money in the Bank and won the world title.
Basically.
Yokozuna. Yeah, that's essentially what it ended up being. I'm like,
poor
really?
Brett. Brett was stuck right in the middle of that too.
He was screwed out of the title.
Yep.
And Vince was like, and the whole story was Vince was like, oh, don't worry. Hogan's going to drop it back to you at SummerSlam. Like you're gonna be able to put the
Yeah.
sharpshooter on him, and he's gonna quit, and you'll be the champion, and off we go. Hogan did the whole, Hogan was like, nope, that's not gonna happen. He did the whole,
That doesn't work for me, brother.
and that was it. That match didn't happen. Hogan dropped the belt back to Yokozuna at King of the Ring, and that was it. And we didn't see him again for like years.
A year, because he went off to Hollywood to do that Thunder in Paradise, but then he did come back to WCW, which is what Vince was trying to stop him from doing anyway.
Which is why I gave him the belt at WrestleMania 9, because he didn't want Hogan to leave.
He didn't want Hogan to go to WCW. Well, eventually he ended up
doing anyway.
Going into that weird, like, Dungeon of Doom thing. He goes,
"Oh, that was terrible.
That's not even hot." I'm sitting there going, "What the fuck is this?"
That was
showed me that.
Yeah,
that was horrible. What is this?
And that was a Kevin Sullivan thing, and he was like, "Well, when I booked that, I wanted to, tell Hogan and he could trust me. I remember they had like a triple cage match. It was Hogan and Savage versus the entire Dungeon of Doom, and they all beat him. Hogan and Savage won that match, so they beat like 12 dudes by themselves. I mean, it was like
that damn Sting shit. That's what Sting would do to the NWO, and I hated that shit back in the 97. Well, 97, 98.
He beat up the entire NWO by himself.
One guy taking out all the rest of the NWO. Go fuck yourself.
And that was they smashed over the NWO. Nobody got to the NWO. Nobody beat the NWO. Nobody touched the NWO. Nothing.
I get that, but I mean, not Sting.
But Sting would beat up the entire NWO by himself with bats.
Week after fucking week. I'm just like, I'm tired of it. Stop it. I'm not going to believe that this fucking Sting guy who doesn't look like a wrestler. And I mean, if you ever hear Hogan and Bischoff talk, he wasn't. He was having issues at home. Well, okay, leave your issues at home then, or go deal with them. That's what Flair would do.
It was their simple match, simple finish at Starrcade 97, and Hogan, of course, did the whole.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
And they fucked up the finish.
Totally fucked up the finish.
And somehow Brett came out. He was the referee, and
started the match again, and again it didn't make any fucking sense because it wasn't a fast count.
Yeah. In other words, they screwed Hogan out of the belt. So they screwed the heel out of the belt. I was like, wait, that's supposed to be reversed usually. Maybe
they're supposed to screw the Sting.
Yeah, instead they screwed Hogan. I was like, well, Hogan got fucked out of the belt then. I was like, what is this? It's not supposed to happen like this.
I don't know. It was retarded.
Yeah.
Anyway, next match.
Anyways, let's get back to this. The women's title match between Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley.
Come on, Rhea, but I doubt that's going to happen.
Now Rhea Ripley is, again, Io Sky is hanging around Rhea Ripley again. Like, it's like, why?
Not again.
I'm guessing they're going to turn Io heel and have her cost the belt to Rhea Ripley, and then they'll go off and feud. While Jade Cargill does nothing for the next 6 months until SummerSlam, probably.
I was kind of hoping they would let Rhea have the belt, and then maybe they could have Io turn heel on her. I mean, that would make more sense. Yeah. Like, you got the belt. Okay, I want the belt back. And then turn on her.
Yeah, and they can have a series of matches, after that. Right. But most likely they can probably keep this belt on Jade, and because Triple H has to justify his investment in Jade Cargill. So they can't just say, oh, yeah, she's a failure. You take the belt off her immediately. Like, that's why I think she's going to keep this belt for a while longer, at least. So,
if that would happen, I would expect the Undertaker actually to be. The Undertaker has been in every Buried Alive match, and he also has lost every one.
He's lost every one, yeah.
So, if anyone's coming back from the grave, I would expect it to be Hogan and the Undertaker. Oops. Not Owen Hart.
Hogan's coming back from the grave to have a Buried Alive match with Owen Hart.
Not Owen Hart. He was such a sweetie. I just like Kurt. They were just sweeties. They just they loved to rib you. That's the main thing.
If Owen would have lived through what happened to him, he probably would have quit wrestling anyways by the late 90s.
And probably would have become what he wanted to become, which was a firefighter. Right.
Yeah, that was what him and his wife talked about. So quit wrestling soon and end up working as a firefighter. Basically back away from wrestling and never come back. So that was actually their plan anyway. So
Right.
Unfortunately, it didn't happen because he had the accident, at Over the Edge, I believe, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, here we go. The next match, I hate this. Sami Zayn, the champion, versus Trick Williams for the U.S. title. And Trick Williams has another rapper hanging around him. Him and this rapper are best friends, apparently. So probably the rapper will screw Sammy out of the title, and
Well,
Trick
that
Williams
and nobody gives a fuck about this match. I mean, let's be real here. Nobody gives a fuck about this match.
Sammy kind of politicked his way into this match because it's obvious he didn't have a match, and all of a sudden he beats Carmelo Hayes for the U.S. title, even though for no reason, basically he just gets his belt. So he has a match at Mania. So Sammy's kind of getting
LA Knight
booed.
had that belt yet?
He had
LA
it
Knight, he
twice.
can't get a break.
He had it twice. It did nothing with him, so it was kind of a waste of time. So
fair enough.
Yeah, I think Trick Williams gonna get this belt because Sammy. I think they just wanted to get him in the Mania card and not actually do anything with him. So the next match is a singles match. You have Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Not for the Intercontinental title, just a singles match. Like, for no reason. It's a singles
Again,
match.
why? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, they betrayed Finn Balor, if you remember. He's out of the Judgment Day now, but
no, I didn't know that because,
this
again, I haven't
match
been
happened.
watching it.
Yeah, this match, that's the only reason why this match is happening. So, Finn Balor should take the Intercontinental from Dominic as revenge, but instead it's a singles match. So I'm guessing...
You wish, Bad Cookies. All right.
I'm guessing that's why he's going to win, but they don't want to put the Intercontinental on Finn Balor, so that's probably why.
And Finn Balor is a good worker.
Yeah.
One of the greatest, well, not one of the greatest, but I will say a good worker, okay? A great worker. But everyone loves Dominic. See, here's the dilemma now. Everyone loves Dominic. Even though they hate him, they love him. That doesn't make any sense. Just make him a damn baby face. Come on. Make Dominic Mysterio a fucking baby face already. Enough is enough, boys. We all know that he wants to be a baby face because everyone is cheering him.
Yeah, the Judgment Day is on his last legs anyway, so...
It's like the NWO. They kept the NWO through the 2000s, and I'm like, why? The NWO is done. It's over. Just let it die. Ouch.
So the next match is the main event for the world title: CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. So this is the match I'm looking forward to.
I'm sorry, I'm not much for Roman Reigns. I can't get into Roman Reigns. I tried.
Yeah. So I don't see Roman Reigns losing this match though, because he lost at last year's WrestleMania. I think he lost the year before, so he's probably gonna get a win just to get him a win. Actually, they're gonna keep using him after Mania. So he's gonna be the world champion. Now the question is, how long? I don't think another 3.5 year run in him, so as champion. So
well, and isn't he supposed to go off and do a movie? Is that movie still back on, or has that movie been?
Him and CM Punk did a cartoon together. They were both played like zebras or something. So that movie's done. I'm not sure if it's in a movie or not. He probably does, but I don't know which one it is. They already finished Street Fighter. It was him and Cody did that movie. So
who was the? Oh, I'm thinking of someone else. Then was supposed to do a movie. Drew McIntyre was suspended because he was supposed to go do a movie, and then the movie was because the one actor got hurt or something.
Yeah, so now the movie's back on. He's probably going to be gone after Mania. So
okay,
that's why I think Jacob will win the match. So
I picked Jacob as well, and I like Drew. He looks like a wrestler.
Yeah,
but I mean, his time is coming too. He's no spring chicken. I'm not saying he's like 90 or anything, but
like the main event scene in WWE, it's old. You look at a lot of the guys hanging around, they're 38, 39, 40,
I mean,
mid 40s, almost 50.
Cody's older than both of us by a year.
Yeah,
85. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, he's 40.
Come on, really?
Drew is in his 40s. CM Punk is nearly 50. Brock is nearly 50. I mean, they do need some young blood on the top. Roman Reigns is in his 40s, so you need some new blood.
His name is Joe.
He's
My
in his
name is
40s
Joe. He
too.
came out and said that. My name is Joe. And I'm like, okay, thanks, Roman. I really don't care if your name is Joe. I like Roman Reigns. I just don't. I don't see the hype. I guess I wasn't really much for the head shrinkers either. Back in '93, I wasn't much for the head shrinkers. But I heard through the grapevine that you would never want to sleep in the same room with any of those Samoans because boy could they snore.
Yeah.
They were cutting wood all night long. I wonder if it happened with the boys, the second generation guys. I don't know. I never slept in the same room with Roman Reigns, but I would like to hear some stories.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward and see what they do with the Roman as champion because I could see that, especially if Obafemi beats Brock, you could see Roman Reigns versus Obafemi for that world title at SummerSlam.
Bad cookies. We were born in '86. I was born in April '86, and the young man over here, Angel, was born in August of '86.
Yeah.
Why? Were you born in the '70s? I'm sorry, we didn't make it. My dad didn't get out of the army till '82.
Man.
So kind of not my fault.
So I look
82
forward
or 83,
to...
I think. I should have been born in 82 or 83. But my parents didn't get married till '84.
Yeah, so just this WrestleMania seems kind of like except for 3 or 4 matches, but other than that, it's kind of going to be a snore to sit with this card, especially on night 1.
Well, if I fall asleep, I'll just... Angel! Okay. Okay, you're awake. I agree. It's probably we're going to have a lot of bathroom breaks. I'm going to go to the bathroom now. Bye. Would it be even funnier if we had a drunk Angel? Of course, you guys won't get to see that, but I will. I'll be like, Angel.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun to sit through this Mania. I mean, it's just a lot of the people
have to watch
injured.
WrestleMania 7 just to get back into the thing. I just downloaded it off of YouTube. No, they have it on. If you look for it, it's on the WWE Vault. You have to look for it. They also have Royal Rumble 91. They have WrestleMania 6 that I just downloaded. Oh my God. Survivor Series 89. I think they have Survivor Series 1990 as well. That I just downloaded. Speaking of which, I need to copy that over from my OneDrive that I stuck it on. So again, like WrestleMania 6 and 7, WrestleMania 6 was 1990 and WrestleMania 7 was 1991. I was 4 and 5.
Yeah.
When that came out.
Yeah, so there's footage after Mania 9 where Vince came to the ring. It's just cut out because the show went off the air by this point. But Vince was like so happy that Hogan had the belt in him because basically he thought that Hogan wasn't leaving. So that's why he's really excited. But he's like, no, he'd be gone. He'd be gone 2 months later.
Right.
So there's deleted scenes for that. And apparently an old episode of WWF Radio popped up on the internet with Randy Savage was a guest, and he basically once again accused Hogan of breaking up his marriage to Miss Elizabeth. So he blamed Hogan for that on WWF Radio in '93.
Again, I don't think we're ever going to fully know the whole truth of that. And I'm not trying to say that facetiously. I'm just trying to say that I don't think we're ever going to know if it really was Savage who popped Hogan in the face. But according to Jim Cornette, he is literally, sticking by his story that, he popped him in the face.
Jim Cornette, I think, was he there in '93 or did he debut later?
He was there later in June.
Okay,
he would be there for King of the Ring.
Yeah, it's after Mania then. So I thought he would have been there then but no, he was. That's what I thought. Yeah, because like
he didn't come till in June during the whole King of the Ring thing because I remember he was there because Fuji couldn't talk anymore. For some reason, Fuji wasn't doing good promos. So,
Yeah.
and Yokozuna didn't talk. Like, he didn't do
No.
promos. That wasn't his thing. So,
Yeah.
Jim Cornette always said he came in because, again, they couldn't have Fuji do it and they couldn't have Yokozuna do
Yoko couldn't
promos.
really talk,
So they
so-
had Jim Cornette do the promo instead. So,
So,
yeah, eventually
Jim
he would
Cornette-
come in.
I remember the story about that. Cornette was the American representative of Yokozuna, so he would talk for him basically.
Yes.
So,
And he would be
Jim
at SummerSlam.
Yeah, Jim Cornette was running Smoky Mountain still. I mean,
Yeah.
he only appeared on
Also,
the TVs.
Jim Cornette would also be at WrestleMania 10, which is where Kurt would screw Luger for the belt. But Jim Cornette, they talk about that on, I think it was a Raw or something, where Jim talks about, like, Mr. Perfect was just doing what he said, was supposed to do at WrestleMania WrestleMania 10. He was just trying to, help us out of the ring and stuff. And then Luger put his hand on an official, which he shouldn't have done, which is true. You're not allowed to put your hands on an official.
Which led to disqualification.
Which
And then Brett ended up winning the belt from Yoko later that night.
Right.
Because Vince had the genius idea to have co-winners in 94, I believe. I remember correctly. They had the co-winners
At
of
the
the
Royal
Rumble.
Rumble, right.
Both Luger and Brett won. And I'm like, and then eventually on before Superstars would open up, Vince would have Luger come out with the belt to test the fan reaction to him.
And people were just like, wait, what? What the hell happened?
Yeah. Like, why did Luger have the belt? Did he win it and we missed it? Because Yoko was still the champion at that point. So it's like, what?
Right.
It didn't get the reaction that they thought he would. Because Luger, they tried to turn Luger into the Hulk Hogan 2.0. The all-American baby face. He had the bus.
Everyone knew Luger as the narcissist.
They tried to...
Who literally tried to get over on Mr. Perfect. And that's why they think that the storyline is supposed to go where at WrestleMania 9, Luger won, even though Kurt's feet were in the ropes. But, 94, this was his revenge for losing at WrestleMania 9. So he screwed Luger out of the belt.
Yeah. So they tried to turn Luger into the All-American babyface 2.0. It didn't work. He had a bus. He had like this.
Vince gave him Express.
This bus. Yeah.
You might as well turn Mr. Perfect and kept Mr. Perfect. He's the All-American boy. He's from the Midwest. He's from Minnesota. You might as well just turn Kurt Hennig babyface at that point, because Mr. Perfect was already a babyface at that point.
X-Pac, Kevin
against the likes of Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. X-Pac, Kevin Nash, and Michaels were all jealous of Lex Luger because he had this bus and they had to rent like this broken down van to get town to town. But Luger had the bus and he wasn't over. Nobody cared about him. So they were all pissed about that.
You might as well have just kept Luger the narcissist, which he was better at anyway. And he was more comfortable that way. He said it himself in several interviews that he literally just felt more comfortable as the narcissist than as a heel.
Because it
made more sense in the WCW at his own, WCW runs were actually better, I guess, for Luger. But I mean, when it comes right down to it, Luger just was better as a heel in the WWF, not as a babyface.
Because that narcissist gimmick kind of matches personality at times.
Yeah, he was a narcissist.
It kind of matches personality. That's why Vince gave him that gimmick. Is like, this guy is full of himself. Let's just give him the narcissist gimmick. Give him a mirror so he can, do his muscle thing.
I hated that damn mirror. And I hated WrestleMania 9 with all them girls with those little, what the hell were they, G-strings? I'm like, what the fuck? Nobody wants to see that. There's kids here.
Yeah, so they did that whole...
He's not fucking honestly, Apollo.
If he would have kept the narcissist gimmick, you probably would have put the WWF title on him. Because him and Brett, would have probably had good matches because of Brett, of course, not because of Luger. So, but
and
that never happened.
Someone had said on X that Kurt had a lot of back injuries, but the thing is, he had already been out. In '93, it could have been back problems, but it also could have been the fact that he was having problems at home. I mean, they all had them, so. It wasn't just Kurt at the time, but that's why he kind of left in '93, he kind of left after Survivor Series because he was having problems at home. And then he also was having, some sporadic back injuries. But I think if he could have rested a little bit, been the referee at WrestleMania 10, and then there could have been some great matches between him and Luger. If they would have left Luger not a babyface, but if they had made him a heel and kept Mr. Perfect, a babyface, I think they could have also passed the belt between them two as well.
Yeah.
Kurt was the greatest worker in the business. No doubt about it. You don't have to take my word for it. Look at all the interviews about Kurt Hennig.
Yeah. So a lot of this radio WWF stuff is like rare. Nobody can find them because they did it like in the 90s very briefly. And somehow a full episode popped up on the internet. Like, where do people find this? Because it's like buried in the archives of WWF or WWE, excuse me. And I hope they put out some episodes on the Vault channel because JR hosted this radio show, that was syndicated around the country at the time. So I never heard it because I didn't have the radio station.
92, 93. Well, 93 because he didn't come in until 93.
Yeah. So it was JR didn't come into 93 and he hosted a radio WWF show back then. And this is the episode.
And he was on Superstars with Kurt later. So
yeah, he would be...
and if you ever hear JR talk about Kurt, he's like, I loved him. He was always making us laugh. He was always, doing his own thing. But it was great to work with him. And that's why I saw an interview on, it was titlematch.com, where Larry Hennig was talking about Vince came up to him at Kurt's funeral and just was bawling his eyes out. I mean, even Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I mean...
So that Kurt was impactful to the people that he worked with in the WWE.
Well, he worked with Vince closely because Vince did the commentary for a lot of the shows. So, right. And Kurt was with him. That's why they got pretty close. And I'm surprised, again, that whole plane ride from hell thing, we could do an entire episode on that, but I'm surprised he fired Kurt. Like, they basically blamed him for the whole thing. Him and Scott Hall wasn't fired. Because Scott Hall was like dead. He was sleeping for the entire flight. So who was it? It was Flair.
No, it was him and Scott Hall. Scott Hall would actually lose his contract.
He was fired? Okay.
Yeah,
I knew. Okay.
As Kurt says in the interview that the one radio interview that I have, he was Scott Hall was suspended. That's what Kurt said. He was suspended from WWE after that. But it goes back to the whole bullshit of, well, Vince McMahon did the same fucking thing, but yet it's Kurt. I mean, you have even JR admitting that Kurt got blamed for something that Vince did himself. So he got the brunt of the blame for Flair, for what Dustin did, for what Brock did, for to Terry Reynolds allegedly. Again, was not there.
I mean, there's always a wonder whether Undertaker was on that flight, and I don't think he's ever confirmed that he was. Because if he was on that flight, there's no way that none of that shit would have happened because he was like the locker room leader by that point. So, but there's always, I'm not sure where Taker, nobody puts Taker on that flight, so that makes sense of why that shit happened. But
well, you have Justin Credible and you have not the Undertaker, but Justin Credible, JBL. Also, who says they were nowhere near that emergency exit. So I don't know where they got that. Oh, they were close to the emergency exit. For fuck's sake, in AWA, they had Mad Dog Vachon hanging out the fucking plane.
Mad Dog was on like a cocktail.
No, he was on everything. He was on Quaaludes. He was on. Yeah. He had a wine. He had beer.
Yeah, he on a cocktail.
Whatever else they gave him, that day. And he's hanging out of the fucking plane. And he didn't get nothing. He went back to work the next day.
He opened the goddamn plane and like the door and hanging out the door. I need some air. It's like he opened the door and the plane started like doing like this. Yeah, it's like close the fucking door, man.
I mean, great guy is sitting right there going, "Oh my god, no! Don't let him fall out."
You know,
Well,
he's like
basically-
hanging out the plane.
He basically threw his gear out, so someone in a field somewhere
Yeah.
might have sold the wrestler's gear somewhere.
He started just throwing his gear out too.
Started
It's
throwing his gear out, for fuck's sake. Oh my God. And they
Man.
never suspected him for any of that shit. Of course, he was on anything you could think of, Quaaludes. Like I said, wine, beer.
Uh-huh.
I forget what
Oh,
else they
those-
had. Uppers,
yeah,
downers,
uppers,
probably.
yeah.
They had them on
Like the-
everything.
It's
So
like
I don't understand like why they would, because I don't think Kurt was on anything. Kurt was on nothing. And I know Brock wasn't on anything because he ain't smart enough to actually be on anything.
Well, Rock and UFC tested positive for steroids once. So they took away a win from him.
Okay, so Brock was on steroids.
Yeah, at least in the UFC. I don't know about WWE, but in the UFC definitely. So that's been confirmed. So yeah, anyways, the wrestlers today are like too squeaky clean for me. I mean, you could talk about the wrestlers from the territory days all day long, and it's
Oh yeah, they were like
it's
what
so-
someone said on Dark
it's
Side
so
of the Ring. They were
entertaining.
walking pharmacies.
yeah, the stories are crazy. From Haku, I mean Haku literally like breaking handcuffs and beating up 10 dudes by himself, biting off somebody's nose eventually at a bar. So it's like
How
it's
about,
crazy stories.
Ken Patera,
Ken Patera
throwing
beat
a
up-
rock. Yeah, throwing a rock through a McDonald's because they wouldn't serve him. It was like what 11, 12 o'clock at night, and
Yeah.
he wanted
was
a
closed.
hamburger. You know, he was hungry, so he got pissed
He
off and
threw-
threw a rock through the.
He think he beat up one of the McDonald's employees. He ended up doing what 2 or 3 years in prison because of that. So he went to
Something
prison
like that.
for
But then, you know, he tried to come back in Dark Side of the Ring and say that wasn't him. It was some other guy that appeared and threw a rock through the McDonald's.
That's ridiculous.
And I was like, wait, what? So are you saying you didn't do it? But it's him and someone else was in the room with him. I can't remember now.
Was it a
Was
Japanese wrestler?
Yeah, was it? It wasn't Saito, was it?
I think it was Saito. I think it was. It was Patera and Saito, and I think Patera wanted burgers, and Saito was like, "Whatever, man, I'll eat whatever. Just I'm hungry
whatever.
too."
Just go get me something. Yeah. I mean, it was late at night, and they hadn't had dinner or anything, and Ken Patera says this guy just walks up and starts throwing rocks into the McDonald's. I went, dude, come on, you can't be this fucking dumb.
So how did you go to prison?
That, right? Then how did you go to prison? Why weren't they looking for some guy?
There was another Chris Adams in Israel super kicked somebody for real, and his eye popped out.
Ooh.
Remember that story? He was working for I think AWA did a tour of Israel, and he kicked some bartender's eye for real with a super kick, and his eye popped out. So, and he's of course Chris Adams was drunk, but he did that.
Right. Well, you hear all these stories. I mean, hell, you would never want to get into a bar fight or a arm wrestling match with Rick Rude.
No.
Just don't do it. Okay, it's not worth it.
Rick.
He would love to fight. He would put his girl alone. This is some of the stories the guys would say that he would leave his girl, whoever he was dating at the time, leave her in like by herself in the bar, and then when someone would come out or come over and try to hit on her, he'd start to fight them.
Yeah, Rick Rude just wanted to fight guys. It's
If
like
I was ever in a bar fight, I would choose to stick behind Kurt and Rick Rude. I'd be like, you guys go do that. I'm going to be over here.
It's like he was just looking for a fight when he was younger. He would beat up everybody, but still, I mean.
And he was a great arm wrestler, too. So, you know, I've heard all these stories that, what was the one story that I think someone told that there was a guy in a bar that was kind of like looking for a fight, but it was an arm wrestling match instead. Like he thought he was the greatest arm wrestler in the world. And Kurt was there, and Kurt said, well, I'll give you $1,000 if you can beat that guy over there. And Rick just kind of rolled his eyes, and he's like, all right, fine. So it was Rick Rude, okay, and he, arm wrestled him. And I think it was like someone said it was the easiest $1,000 Kurt ever made. I was like, wow, that's a really crazy story. I would not want to be with Rick Rude at a bar. I'd be like, I'm over here. If you do. Okay.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
so
want to piss off Rick Rude either.
I don't know what today's wrestlers can do to shoot an interview because nothing happens. These guys are squeaky clean now, so it's like, what are you gonna talk about? Nothing. So
Well,
it's like
part of it is, I mean, a lot of the guys now are not on the painkillers. Because remember,
Yeah.
guys, in the 80s and 90s, wrestling was pretty brutal to your body. And they made these
worked every day.
painkillers. Right. So they literally made these painkillers to make the pain go away, but it didn't. So the wrestlers got hooked on what XYZ, name your painkiller. For Kurt, it was Percocet.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of them got addicted and a lot of them OD'd.
Yeah, so there were so many stories of these backstage. Harley Race allegedly set fire to a WWF ring and like
That was
87.
Hogan, and that got debunked.
Yeah.
Hogan said that Harley
Harley.
was on fire, but no, that didn't happen.
Because Harley did show up at a St. Louis WWF show because they were working his territory, so he was pissed. So he had a gun, of course. He was drunk, of course. Everybody says he was drunk. So, and he was looking for Hogan in particular. So he wanted to do something to Hogan, but the story deviates when Hogan claims he set fire to the ring, and then he walks to Hogan like, "Hey, can I get a job?" It's like, "No, you didn't. I guarantee you didn't do that."
No.
Because if Harley wanted the job, he'd go straight to Vince. Because Vince
Right.
tried to hire him in 83 before the first Starrcade.
Yeah.
And Harley didn't take the money then. In fact, he beat up Vince. He had a fight with Vince in the bathroom in the restaurant. He beat him up.
And that is a fact. We can actually identify that.
Yeah, and
that
Linda
part.
had to pick him up. Linda had to pick him up from the restaurant. And he got his ass kicked. It didn't go well for
Not
Vince.
to mention Kevin Kelly beat the fuck out of Vince. Remember that? And apparently, some say Kurt did this. Kurt went and told Kevin Kelly that he got less than the big boss man. Well, how would Kurt know? How would Kurt know how much the big boss man got?
There's some people blame Kurt for that because he was ribbing Kevin Kelly. He was like, "Oh, Bossman got more money for you. You know that, right?" And he's like, "What?" And of course, he took it seriously because he was kind of he was wound tight, like he took everything seriously. So he ran straight to Vince's office, and Vince, of course, wouldn't tell him. So it escalated, and he just started choking Vince to death. And he almost, if it wasn't for, I think Slaughter might have walked in, or
it was Slaughter and a couple others.
And
dude, let him go! Let him go!
And eventually they had to call Bret in. Bret Hart was there too, but
Bret was there. So was Jerry Sags.
Yeah, so they had to call in some of the boys in order to break it up. And eventually Kevin Kelly claimed that Vince, sexually assaulted him. That's why he did that. So, and
I don't know. I wasn't in the room, but
I've heard that story. That's what he claims. Yeah,
but everyone wants to blame Kurt for that. How would Kurt know how much the big boss man got it at Survivor Series?
Yeah, so eventually Kevin Kelly would be gone, and we never saw him again in wrestling.
He was nails, and he just did an interview about Kurt Hennig.
Yeah, he did
in the AWA and stuff, and he admitted that they went down the road together. In fact, Kurt used to rib Kevin Kelly in AWA. Yeah. There's a story that's, I forgot who told it now. Probably one of the Nasty Boys, because the Nasty Boys they love to talk about Kurt's ribs, especially for them. Yeah. But I think it was Jerry Sags said that it was Kurt that took an emblem off of Kevin Kelly's new car and blamed Casey, Adnan Casey.
Adnan, yeah.
And so when Adnan Casey came in, Kevin Kelly just socked him. Oh my God!
Did he throw him to like a glass thing? I remember hearing about that. He threw Adnan through like a window or something in the office.
I'm not sure, but yeah. And all you hear is Jerry Sachs going, Greg Gagne's going, guys, don't ruin the walls. I mean, we're gonna shoot here. Damn, Greg Gagne is worried more about the fucking building than anything else.
Yeah, he's beating up
This is
one of
not
your
paid for,
boys,
guys.
one of your wrestlers, and he's just worried about the walls. So,
my all-time favorite rib, I think, would have to be either. I don't know. This is a toss-up between, because I've heard some from Shane Douglas, and I've even asked Shane Douglas about this personally because I sent a letter to him when he had his podcast with James. I asked about the plane ride, and this is not the plane ride from hell. This is just a plane ride that they were on, and Kurt put shit on a guy's glass and he drank it.
Yeah.
That one. It's a toss up between that one and what he got the Nasty Boys all drunk and had like what they call a rainbow stew, which was like, you know, a Percocet in some Jack Daniels, and you gargled it. Now, I know this is true because I know Kurt used to do this because Buff Bagwell said kind of the same thing. He was like, Kurt would show you how to do it, and then you had to do it, and he would go, don't vomit, don't waste the Percocet or whatever. Yeah, so I'd be like, sorry, Kurt. I can't even take medicine now. I can't imagine gargling it and swallowing. I'm like, I don't like taking any kind of medicine. I have to take it with water, and I still can.
Well, in the WWF in the 80s, it was Dr. George Sahorian. Like, he would bring in during the tapings, he'd bring a suitcase of drugs, steroids, Percocets, uppers, downers, whatever you need. And he would sell it to the boys with no problem, and no prescription, no nothing. He's like, okay, here, you want Percocet, you want uppers, downers, steroids, stuff. I got plenty of steroids for you. And Hogan bought from him. Vince bought from him, allegedly. Vince bought from him.
Well, and that's the funny part is everyone was like, Hogan was like, I don't do steroids. And who was it? Billy Graham was like, oh, come on. I remember shooting Hogan up in the ass.
Yeah. And I think it was either Vince or Bruce Pritchard told Hogan before the Arsenio Hall appearance, like, just tell the truth. Like, don't lie about it. Just tell the truth. And the fans will probably forgive you. And instead, he went and lied. He's like, oh, I took steroids twice for injuries when I was hurt. It's like, oh, God. Like, everybody knew it was a lie. He had the 24-inch pythons. You know, it was like that big. It's like, there's no way that's natural.
There's no way that's natural, right?
Yeah. So just tell the truth, Hogan. Of course, Hogan can't tell the truth. Like, no matter what, he would rather climb up a tree and lie than stay on the floor and tell the truth. That whole thing. Like, some people are like that.
I mean, I would classify Hogan as like a pathological liar. They don't think they're lying. They just make stuff up because they can't help it.
And Hogan always put himself in the middle of every important moment. Like, he claimed that Elvis Presley was a fan of his. And when he was wrestler, it's like, no, he died in 79.
Yeah, Elvis died before you even were a wrestler.
Yeah. And he was a wrestling fan, but you didn't start Memphis until the early 80s, and Elvis was dead by then. So there's no way Elvis was a fan of yours. Like,
if anything, Elvis was probably a fan of Jerry Lawler.
Yeah. So Elvis was a fan of his. The whole lie of it was so many lies that it is. I can't remember.
Harley Race set the ring on fire. That was the biggest lie.
That was Hogan
like,
claim.
I don't think Harley Race would do that. Another rib I like, and this wasn't Kurt. It was Kurt's father. They were in the car together. Now I can't remember who told the story, but it was a big rib where they had picked up a hitchhiker or something. And Larry was in the back like this, you know, trying to sleep. And this guy, like, he started to pretend like he was waking up. And they were egging this guy on and saying that Larry was from a mental institution. He was a lunatic who had broke out of the asylum, and they were trying to take him back to the asylum. And he kept going, like that. And this guy probably shit himself as he ran out of the car.
I'm sure he believed it the way Larry was multiple times.
That guy, I think one of them said, "I never seen a guy run that fast."
Yeah. So it's like, if I saw it, if that guy saw Larry, like he would believe it. It's like
Larry
this
was,
guy's psychotic.
he was a big guy. I would not want to piss off Larry Hennig.
No.
And I found this out by watching it because they had it on the WWE Vault. I was wrong.
I love that channel.
The first person, the one who broke Mr. Perfect streak was not Ed. It was not Brutus Beefcake at WrestleMania 6. That was the televised one, yes. It was actually the Ultimate Warrior on home video. One of those video things they did. Was it not home video, but something like that.
The Coliseum.
Yeah, the Coliseum home videos. Yeah.
That
it was the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, they would film like shows and matches just for videotape, and people would buy them. I remember they were like $14.99 plus shipping and handling, so that was how much they cost.
I'm waiting for the one. I didn't know that. First of all, I didn't know that in Coliseum that they had actually put Kurt against the Ultimate Warrior. Now I knew he wasn't going to get the belt because they weren't going to. Yeah. He had just won the belt from Hogan, so he wasn't going to put. They weren't going to put the belt on Kurt. Though I felt bad for that, but I didn't think it was up against the streak. I thought that Ed is the one who took the streak, and that was televised. So if anyone says, "Well, who broke Mr. Perfect's winning streak or perfect streak in the WWF?" It was, if you're talking non-televised, it was the Ultimate Warrior.
I didn't know that either until you.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I saw in the WWE Vault they have the Coliseum home video, and it's Warrior versus Mr. Perfect. And Lanny was nowhere in sight. I think Lanny had pretty much left by then because this is 1990. Though him and Lanny would be at WrestleMania 6 would be partners, and then by SummerSlam, Bobby Heenan would join with Kurt, and Lanny would kind of like drift off into the corner and never be seen again. Though, again, when we watch these bloopers of Kurt, you can't make this up. He's doing the golf vignette, right? Which is early 89 because you can tell it's 89 because Lanny's with him. And he just goes, I forgot what I was going to say. And he walks off. He walks off set. And you see Lanny picking his nose. I'm like, ew! Lanny's picking his nose. Ew! I think he eats it too. I'm like, oh, that's so gross.
All of these guys from the territory days have personality coming out of their ass. I mean, they're unique, all of them. Like today, all the wrestlers are cookie cutter. Like they have all the muscles. Oh my God, you see the wrestlers from NXT, the future. Oh man, like I don't know how much more I can watch wrestling. Honestly, they're all coming out to the ring and they look gayer and gayer and gayer. It's like, what the fuck is this? This is not pro wrestling. These are models. Homosexual models, or at least metrosexual, let's say, trying to work, and it's like,
that just means you care about the way you look.
Yeah.
For our audience who doesn't know that.
Yeah, it's like gayer and gayer. It's like, what the hell this is not. Of course, there's like a few guys here and there that look like real wrestlers. Like Obafemi was one of them, came from NXT, but very few of them like real wrestlers.
Say, Brian Pillman Jr.
Yeah, he's still in NXT. I mean, I think he's in a stable. But they're not really doing much with him. I mean, he's barely.
And that's a shame because his dad was he was a great worker. He knew the business, and it's just a shame how Brian went out, though. Kind of like Kurt would go out after him.
I can't believe he said he just died in his hotel room. He's like, but I'm like. Oh, let me explain this.
Brian Pillman Jr., I actually watched an interview where they did with Brian Pillman Jr. and they blamed he blames his mother. His mother was messing around with other men. and
Oh, yeah,
Brian
but
took it real hard. Really,
after
really hard.
after Brian Pillman died, I mean, his wife started having like these major drug issues, and if you see her in Dark Side of the Ring, she looks like a drug addict. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
she's like shaking around, and she's like she barely stands still during or
Well,
stays
and
still. In the seat.
she had a falling out with Brian Jr. Brian Jr. still won't talk to her for what
Yeah.
he says that she did to his dad.
So this is a WWF radio spot that Savage basically went after Hogan again on this old radio show. So I just thought
Are we allowed to
like
play
3
this
minutes.
on YouTube?
I think so. I think
All
so.
right.
I mean, this is like a radio thing, It's not like it's actual footage. Like,
Have you ever heard the name Hulk Hogan?
Of course I've heard of
The
it.
Hulkster. Five-time World Wrestling Federation champion used to be through the WWF. Hulk Hogan became at one time the biggest superstar in the history of professional wrestling. Johnny Polo, have you ever heard of Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, but he wasn't as big a star as you. You're the greatest.
Listen, brother, just back up one time. He was a 5-time World Wrestling Federation champion, and I'm a 2-time World Wrestling Federation
You're
champion.
much better than him.
Jim Ross, you got a problem with Johnny Polo, don't
I was
you?
going to say, that sounds like
Howard,
Raven.
bring me a bromo, will
yeah, it is Raven. He's Johnny Polo, the WWF. So
Yeah.
When you ask me a question, I'll give you an answer. I personally used to look up to him, and I'm talking about Hulk Hogan, not Johnny Polo, and that was a big mistake.
It's kind of hard to look up to
I
Raven.
thought he was my friend.
I thought he
but
was
he's
my
definitely
friend.
Not, the worst prima donna I've ever met in my life.
Randy.
What's
We're talking about
that?
Hulk Hogan here.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
You're honest.
I'm very, very honest with capital letters all the way through. Yeah, I don't know how to spell it, but I'm definitely honest.
So he was a big prima donna, huh?
Hey, shut up.
hey, shut up.
Polo.
I'll shut up, sure.
That's cool, brother. You know what I mean? But Hulk Hogan's ego went so out of control that Hulk Hogan consumed Terry Bollea, which is his real name. That's where
by
I'm
the
coming
way.
from right there, brother. Just like I say, Crush is borderline on goofing off and calling me on the carpet at Monday Night Raw and whatever's whatever. That's my
must have been 90
attitude.
minutes.
And I got that
Yeah.
trigger.
That was my attitude.
Like hot and heavy. And,
Your reputation in this business has been one of, and I mean this politely, so please don't
all
take
right,
it wrongly.
We'll check it out. Maybe it'll be polite, maybe it won't.
Your attitude, your reputation in the wrestling business has been one of a volatile individual at times, someone with a short fuse, but a very emotional athlete.
Exactly.
I stress emotional, and I double thumbs up your athlete because
what
you are an
I
athlete.
am is what I am.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We've never talked about on television. When I worked at WCW, when I worked in Mid-South, I never knew that there was a problem with you and Hulk Hogan.
Well, not just Hulk Hogan, Crush at this time, but like you were reflecting back
Well,
on a statement that I made.
I want to know more about the Hulk
No,
Hogan
Hulk Hogan.
situation.
All right, Hulk Hogan. Let's just say that I've lost a lot of respect for Hulk Hogan, a.k.a. Terry Bollea. That's his real name. And with him as a man and as a human being. And but that's an extreme understatement that I'm saying right there. Lost a lot of definite respect for him.
Well, how did you lose this respect? This is fascinating. A scoop on my own show. This is great.
That's not your show, brother.
No, it's not. It's
brother.
your show. Your show.
A lot of people out there might be thinking it's professional jealousy, but now putting professional jealousy aside, if there is any, which I'm not.
So it goes on, but the full episode is there. But yeah, he shits on Hogan basically.
Hey, can you put that in the chat? I'd like to listen to that.
It's like an hour and something. Savage comes on.
It's too bad that Savage never ever got to prove or disprove his thing with Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, that story.
And I love Lanny because he's just like, he also doesn't disprove it or prove it. That there was something between a 17-year-old Stephanie McMahon and the Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm sure that, Stephanie was around, during that time, I guess. I don't know. I really wasn't up on Stephanie McMahon or not.
Stephanie would have been around, but I think she, at best, she was about to start college, and I think she worked for her dad taking pictures for the magazine or for the catalog. She put merchandise on. So that's how she started. But I'm not sure that was after college or before, but She did work for her dad as a
So I'm sure
model.
she saw Randy around. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know if there was a relationship or not, but I mean, it's Randy Savage. I mean, she could have been in all of him.
Vince fired him, or he left because
the thing is that he wouldn't give Vince the rights to Slim Jim. That was Randy's thing. That was not the WWF's thing.
Yeah, which is why, and also it was a money issue and the Slim Jim thing, and eventually and Vince would have let him wrestle by '94. He thought that Randy was done, so that's why he wanted to wrestle more. And Vince like, no, you're not wrestling. You're going to be commentators. That's why he left too. And eventually, but Vince never brought him back. I mean, he brought back Hogan, he brought back Hall and Nash and all the guys in WCW that left, but Savage was the one he didn't bring back. And it's like, why? And it's like, that's speculation that he had the inappropriate relationship with a 17-year-old Stephanie. Again, Randy's dead. Stephanie's not talking. Vince is not talking about that. So
I mean, and Lanny's dead too. But when they asked Lanny the question about it, he neither confirmed or denied it. He kind of just left it up in the air. Kind of like the thing with Elizabeth. Lanny would literally. That's why I don't understand. Like, why would you not deny or confirm it? Deny it profusely if it didn't happen. Say my brother never would have a relationship with a 17-year-old. He definitely didn't have one with Stephanie McMahon, blah, 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 blah. Because he vehemently denied the fact that he kept Miss Elizabeth in a cage and was very protective of her. Now, I get it, but again, Randy, she chose you. She didn't marry somebody else. She didn't cheat on anybody with anyone else. She chose you. She married you. I don't know. But like I said, I would think that Lanny, of all people, because Lanny was his little brother and always, stuck up for his brother. That's why they had Lanny do when Macho Man became the Macho King, because he won it from Hacksaw. That whole thing, Lanny did that. He actually did a poem for Savage. He gave him the robe. Actually, that was Mr. Perfect. But that's because Lanny and him, he was managing Mr. Perfect at the time. But I would think that if that was not true, why wouldn't Lanny vehemently deny it? Just like he did with Elizabeth and locking her in the house and stuff and locking her in the. I couldn't be locked into a dressing room. I'm sorry. And that's why Sherry also confirmed that. And I don't think Sherry would lie about anything. Her and Liz were friends. And she whenever she would manage a wrestler, she would go and ask their wife. So, of course, Liz and Randy were married. So she would say, is it okay if I manage Randy? Because they wanted to break up Miss Elizabeth and Randy anyway. And she said, you know what? You're my best friend. You're my friend, Sherry. Go ahead. I trust you. See, that's the kind of person Sherry was. So, and Sherry confirmed that Randy did this one time and one time only, locked her and Elizabeth into a dressing room, and she kicked the door in or out. She kicked the door out. And she looked at Randy and said, don't you ever lock me in, because Sherry gets claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And she looked right at Randy and said, don't you ever lock me in a dressing room like that again. And Randy never did, according to Sherry. Of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, Sherry wouldn't lie about that. Now, like I said, I get it. Lanny, that's his brother. I get it why Lanny would want to stick up for his brother. But I mean, it wasn't just a few wrestlers saying that, Miss Elizabeth was like a bird in a cage. It was pretty much all of them. Even Sherry herself. So I tend to believe Sherry,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she would lie about that either, but that's
again, nobody confirms or denies or vehemently denies, but I would expect Lanny to. Like, Lanny, why don't you just come out and say, no, my brother never slept with Stephanie McMahon?
That's the number one wrestling urban legend that Randy and Stephanie had this inappropriate relationship, back in '94. So when Stephanie would have been 17. So, of course, Vince did a whole documentary on Netflix, and they didn't even ask him about that. Did they ask him about the Randy and Stephanie? I don't think they did. They
I
asked
don't
about
think
everything
they
else.
did, but I do know they asked Lanny, and Lanny would just kind of like beat around the bush about it. I think they talked about this on one of the. Lanny had given some kind of interview or whatever. I guess it was about the Macho Man thing. They did a documentary about Liz and Randy. In fact, I do remember watching that, and I felt really bad. Kind of for Liz. They did a Dark Side of the Ring of that too. But I watched the other documentary that they did, and Lanny is on there, and he vehemently denies all that stuff. Oh, she was never in a cage or whatever. But I think they asked him and in a radio interview, and he neither confirms it nor denies it. He just kind of beats around the bush about it. And then Jim Cornette's like, well, he didn't deny it, or he didn't confirm it either. So everyone is on this about this still being a true thing. It could be an urban legend for all we know. But again, I would expect Lanny Poffo to literally stick up for Randy, who was his brother, because he did that with Elizabeth. And the fact that he neither denied or confirmed the fact that Randy and Stephanie had a relationship. I mean, no offense, but if my man and I had met back in 96, 97, I would have been the same kind of thing. We would have had an appropriate relationship.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's good that we're an adult, but
I don't know. I don't, because that's like an urban legend, because people who are alive aren't talking, and everybody else is dead by this point. So we're never gonna know the truth probably about that. So
no, and
we could speculate.
You can speculate all you want. If it was, it never happened again. But a lot of people say the reason why Vince held a grudge against Randy was because he would not let him have the Slim Jim rights. That was a Randy Savage thing, and only a Randy Savage thing.
Yeah, so to this day, Slim Jim uses Randy's likeness on their commercials to this day.
Yes.
So,
I miss Randy in those old commercials, and I'm glad that they still have him in those old, Slim Jim commercials. I'm still glad they have him in today's commercials, because again, Randy was unique. He was second generation. He knew the business. I'm not surprised he actually punched Hulk Hogan. I mean, he couldn't punch Liz because that's taboo. We don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, all I would say Randy, she chose you. She chose you for a reason. She married you. She didn't marry someone else. I mean, she would eventually. And then she got all caught up with Lex Luger. I'm like, I can't believe that. I'm like, girl, what you looking at? Lex Luger.
If she never got together with Lex Luger, she probably would have lived a lot longer, because Luger was into the drug scene and she started getting addicted too.
That's a real tragedy that.
Yeah.
And he actually went to jail for that.
Yeah.
But if you actually watch interviews with him, he actually, when you talk about Liz around him, he actually breaks up. Like he gets very emotional.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that he feels
horrible about her, but I mean, like, holy fuck. The fact that she's like, well, I'm starting to fall for Lex Luger, I'd be like, girl, you got bad taste. He is ugly. If I had a dog that looked like him, I'd shave its ass and make it walk backwards. Come on. No accounting for taste. But I mean, again, the heart wants what the heart wants, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that bothers me is that Luger was married. Come on, get a divorce. Get a divorce and ask Liz to marry you. I don't know. But do it the right way. Don't fuck up like this. I mean, he even bought Liz. He literally built Liz a house where they could actually meet. He built her a house. And the wife found out, because the wife found the plans for the house.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
There you go. Yeah, it's almost 10 and probably should start wrapping up here. We keep talking all night, but yeah, we got to start
What we
leaving.
need to do is after WrestleMania and stuff, what we really, really need to do after we review WrestleMania, what we need to do is get on it and just do an episode just dedicated to the screw job. I know we said we were going to do that, but
we never did.
I definitely think we should devote at least a couple of episodes to just the Montreal screw job.
yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, because quite frankly, after Mania, I just don't know how much WWE I'm going to be watching. I'll probably watch some of it, but it's like WrestleMania is going to be brutal this year, and it's like, do I really want to keep watching WWE? You know, I'll probably watch it. We'll still talk about it, but
well, I haven't. Where is it? It's in Saudi Arabia, isn't it?
Vegas again.
Oh, it is in Vegas. Okay, I'm thinking. I don't know why I'm thinking it's in Saudi.
No, next year's WrestleMania is in Saudi, but that's in question. With this war in Iran and the Iranians keep attacking Saudi Arabia, I don't know whether it can hold this Mania out there, unless this war ends pretty soon. So we'll see what happens. But
yes, there's that. I mean, they were supposed to be in Louisiana, right? This year they were supposed to have it.
Supposed to be in New Orleans, right? But TKO decided to move it back to Vegas because Vegas offered them more money, and they can't sell out WrestleMania this year. In fact, Pat McAfee on SmackDown announced, "Hey, WrestleMania tickets are 25% off. Go get them now." And I was like,
"They're so expensive that no one can."
Nobody wants. Even if you want to go to Mania, you can't afford it. So it's like, man, I'm not paying this. It's like, hey, it's 25% off. Go get your tickets now. That's embarrassing. Like your biggest show of the year. Vince not
might
once.
Might as well make them 99% off because, again, no one can afford 20% off or 25%.
Vince not once ever put WrestleMania tickets on sale. That shows everything you need to know about TKO, how they fucked up this Mania.
Well, and I mean, the prices, like I said, I looked for in New York now because I couldn't find a front row seat for Hershey at the time. But anyway, a front row seat in New York was $600 to $700 a ticket. That's just for the ticket. That's not for any accommodations you might have. That's not for the flight in. That's not for a hotel. That's not for the food you're gonna have to want to eat. Oh my God. And literally it's like a mini house without the house to go to WrestleMania. People cannot afford it. They literally have made it so that the rich can go.
Yeah, even TKO's executives in a stockholder meeting were kind of throwing Vince under the bus and criticizing him. It was like, oh, he didn't maximize revenue.
Poor people, Vince.
He didn't maximize revenue. He didn't, he could have charged more for these tickets, especially during the Attitude Era. He didn't say it like that, but especially in the 90s. So he said, so I'm like, no, I mean, Vince was smart enough to know you got to get
anything. It would have helped nothing.
Yeah, Vince was smart enough to know you got to get people in the building. That way they could buy the merch, they could buy, concessions, they get money off that. So back when I would go here, not far from here is an arena, and it's like $15 for general admission. It was nothing. It was like so you had more money to get merch and stuff.
We went to the new Hershey Arena, and that's about an hour northeast of us, or northwest of us. Sorry. So I'm about an hour-ish from Hershey Park, and it used to be the Giants Center. And I've heard Jim Cornette talk about the old Hershey Arena in Hershey, PA. Yeah, I know it sucked, and it was small. They had small dressing rooms, some of the wrestlers would bitch about it. I've heard that, but the new Hershey Park Arena, I don't think Jim Cornette has had the pleasure of being in. I did in 2002. And I can tell you it was a lot bigger and more spacious. But I mean, for 4 or 5 people, it was like $200. Now that's per ticket. It's actually more per ticket. When I went in 2002, I was 16.
Yeah, it's outrageous now, ticket prices. Eventually, TKO is going to have to lower these prices regularly because people are not going to come out. Especially when the storylines suck and the shows suck. If the shows were great, it's like maybe you could justify paying for it, but the shows are terrible, like atrocious.
People have to decide whether they're going to pay rent or they're going to go get groceries. Raising your prices ain't going to. The people will be like, "Well, I got to pay rent. Sorry."
I wonder, before we wrap up, I wonder when TKO is going to give up on WWE and try to sell it, because it seems like they're fucking this up. They're raising the prices way too much. They're sticking celebrities all over the show, like Pat McAfee.
WCW did before it went out, didn't it?
Yeah, they're sticking a Jelly Roll is going to be involved in Cody and Randy match. Forgot to talk about that. He's already been hanging around Cody and Randy, so he's probably going to accompany Cody to the ring versus his match with because McAfee is accompanying Randy. So there's celebrities up and down this show, and they're wrestling. They're all wrestling too. They're like they're
and
not
he was wrestling with Cody, or not Cody, with Randy.
Yeah, he was
a few months
Jelly
ago.
Roll. Yeah, SummerSlam. Jelly Roll and Randy had a tag match. I'm forgetting it's two right now.
So more than 6 months ago, I mean, Jelly Roll was with Randy Orton. So here we go again, where they twist the storyline to the point of, well, no one really cares anymore.
Yeah,
and that's bad because I love Cody Rhodes. Because I love Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah. So apparently at the Backlash, they're going to have Jelly Roll and Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton and Pat McAfee. So they're going to continue this feud. And it's going to be brutal. It's going to be horrible. So, yeah, I wonder when TKO is going to give up on WWE and try to sell it. Because I think that's coming pretty soon.
So, riddle me this, Batman. Do you think they will sell it back to Vince McMahon?
If he's still alive by that point, Vince wants WWE back.
You can tell he does.
Yeah. Like, he regrets the sale because he thought when he sold it to TKO, he thought he would have control of WWE. He didn't.
And then this whole thing with Janelle Grant started.
And then he was gone. He's forced out of the company.
Forced his hand and forced him kind of out of the building. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think he wants it back. And don't be surprised if they do sell it that he gets money from the Saudis to try to buy it back.
Yep.
And we'll see Vince McMahon back in the building. My prediction, he's only back in the building within the next year and a half. That's my bold prediction. We'll see whether Vince is alive by then, but let's say if he is, within the next year and a half, year and a half at most, Vince McMahon will buy it back, and he'll be the head booker again at 85, whatever how old he's going to be. What?
The old saying, do you ever hear the old saying, it takes evil longer to die?
Yeah. That's why I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm assuming Vince will be alive. He'll be at all the TVs with his crazy booking and stuff. It's like, oh, here we go again. Vince is back. He's back.
Well, I thought that's what you guys wanted now because you all put down Triple H and his.
They all hate Triple H. Yeah, they all hate Triple H now. So, in fact, a lot of the wrestling community online want Vince back. It's like, wait, which one is it? You guys hated Vince 4 years ago before he was forced out, and now it's like, you all want him back? Like, this is bullshit. They don't know what they want.
The thing is, I don't even think Triple H is booking because, I mean, Triple H seems more like he wants a Washington run or something because, he's more into his fitness thing with Linda McMahon and that whole, they want to tell the poor kids, well, guess what? You can't have an education because you're poor.
Yeah, it seems like I'm not sure how much because TKO is forcing a lot of shit on him. Like the celebrities and the fucking terrible.
Like they saw WCW and thought, hey, that's great. Yeah, and then WCW went under. You're doing the same thing that WCW did before they went under.
It's like that's why I think they're going to give up on this and sell it sooner rather than later because they're into UFC and a lot of the real sports that they have. Like WWE doesn't really fit their business model. It seems like they're overcharging for everything. They're trying to treat it like a sport, but it's not. It's it's a show. It's professional wrestling. So it's like they have the boxing now. So WWE doesn't fit within TKO's business model anymore. So
it all doesn't make any sense, and the storylines are shit. So it's not even watchable. I have to watch old wrestling that I downloaded from YouTube just to even get, a sense of what it used to. I miss the good old days. You know, the good old days when they had real storylines like Mr. Perfect turning babyface.
Yeah. So that's a bold prediction of mine that TKO will sell WWE within the next 12 to 18 months. And they'll probably sell it back to Vince because he wants it back. So, yeah, that's my bold prediction. We'll see whether it comes true or not. So
I concur with that prediction.
Yeah, we're
because
probably
that's the way it's going. Because remember what Nick Khan said. I mean, he wasn't convicted of a felony. And that was their bullshit, you know, oh, well, Brock Lesnar, he wasn't convicted of a felony. Yeah, but he still likes to expose himself, and ladies don't like that. We don't want to see your junk.
Especially since TKO started the boxing part of their business. They have UFC. They have, like, bull riding or some shit.
Yeah,
they have all these real
bull
sports.
riding.
Yeah, they have all these sports, and WWE doesn't fit that model anymore. Like, it's sports entertainment, it's pro wrestling, and they're forcing a lot of
it's
like
wrestling
the celebrities
entertainment, as Vince would put it. That's what Vince said. Get the F out, because he lost that lawsuit with the World
Wildlife Fund.
Yeah, World Wildlife
Fund. The WWF. You know, that was also so.
They thought Vince took that from them. Because I guess they had it first, and then he just kind of took the WWF and Worldwide Wrestling Federation from his dad and made it WWF, World Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, it's just, you know, don't be surprised. My bold prediction that TKO will sell WWE at some point. And it's going to be Vince and the buying it back with the help from the Saudis. So we'll see whether I'm right or wrong, my timeline. But I'm seeing here on Twitter that Donald Trump is attending another UFC event. So he's there with Dana White, you know, his butt buddy, because Dana White supports him. So,
yes.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So we do have
We're going
to
to suck each other's dicks later.
Won't be surprised. Yeah, we do have to wrap.
I wouldn't be surprised if Vince McMahon comes back and gets WWE back. That would not surprise me in the least.
Yeah,
if the Saudis help him, I, again, would not be surprised if Vince McMahon is back in charge.
If he gets backing from the Saudis, he's definitely going to get it back. Because
Did you hear that rumor that Stephanie and Triple H are going to step aside? See, this is the thing. I think Vince is coming back. It's just a matter of time, because Stephanie and Triple H are now going to step aside after WrestleMania.
Allegedly, yeah. I saw that. I'm not sure how true that is, but I saw that here on the internet. So Triple H is gonna leave after Mania. He might get fired. That's the thing, because especially with the ratings going down and the attendance of WrestleMania is not good. So they might blame him. TKO might blame him, and get rid of him. So he'll get fired, or he'll resign, or he'll go away or whatever, and then he'll end up at the White House. I guarantee you, end up with something at the White House too. So
he's trying to do a White House run. WWE is beneath him now, and that's all because of Linda McMahon. The whole Linda McMahon becoming our Secretary of Education, which she wants to destroy it. She does not want poor kids to have a good education. She wants rich kids, like her kids and her grandkids are going to have everything handed to them. And literally, they're going to be the leaders, while your kids and my kids are literally going to be the servants, the peasants.
So if TKO tries to sell WWE, don't be surprised if Tony Khan also tries to bid like he did last time.
I heard about that too. I thought that was just a rumor.
No, Tony Khan apparently did put a bid in for WWE, but ultimately went to TKO because they offer more money, and Vince would never sell to Tony Khan. Not as competition.
I can't see Tony Khan taking. I mean, because Vince bought out everybody else: WCW, ECW, all the territories. Vince McMahon would not let Tony Khan and AEW and his competition buy WWE. Not a chance in hell.
Yeah, that's why
I don't care if Vince is senile and he is not all there. Well, we all know he's not all there. But
it would have been
if he was worse. If he was just a vegetable.
It would have been like Vince selling to Ted Turner in like the mid-90s when WWF was struggling.
I mean, that might have happened in like 94, 95 when they were kind of struggling, and 96 when the NWO came into it, and then they were struggling even more.
Vince would have never sold. He would rather close the company down and do something else than to sell it to
Right.
Turner. So that's why he had that type of personality.
Here's the funny part: Ted Turner is a eugenics guy.
Yep.
But he was the wrestling guy. You know, Ted Turner loved wrestling. That's why they gave Eric Bischoff a blank check and said, "Here, go act like a drunken sailor and get all these guys on luxurious contracts." Not that, you know, I don't think that. I think Brett and I think Kurt deserved luxurious contracts. Yeah. The rest of them did not.
Bret Hart he said he made like $4 million a year in WCW. And he hated it.
3-4 million,
there. Yeah. He hated
Kurt
it there. It was like,
I think Kurt's was almost $1 million. It was like 925,000, I think.
He hated it. Brett especially hated WCW. I mean, every chance he gets, he buries it.
Yeah, Kurt was like, I don't know if going to WCW even helped my career. I think it did. But I think that Bischoff should have given him more. If anything, you should have given him as much as you gave Bret Hart, because you just sticked around Kurt Hennig too. You let Hogan fuck him over with the West Texas Rednecks in 1999. Because the West Texas Rednecks were just getting popular. They were so popular. And then Hogan said, "That doesn't work for me, brother." And
Hogan did. Kurt said, you told me, he said, a guy with blonde hair put the Knicks on it. So it's this guy.
That doesn't work for me, brother. Curtis is quoted as saying, a guy with blonde hair said, how can I
can't follow that.
How can I follow that?
I can't follow that, brother.
He couldn't. And what's funny is Hogan was in a band. Hogan could play guitar. Maybe not as good as Kurt could, because Kurt actually admitted he could play guitar a little bit. He was no Jimi Hendrix, but, you know. But neither was Hogan. Hogan was no Jimi Hendrix either.
That doesn't work for me, brother.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
So we do have to. Go ahead, one more thing, then we'll go.
Even though I think that, you know, Brett deserved it. I know Kurt deserved it. What they did with Kurt was just absolutely stupid, I thought. And it was all Eric Bischoff's fault. Of course, it's Eric Bischoff. Either have Kurt join the Four Horsemen at the beginning when he first comes in June and says, "Okay, Flair, you know what? I will join the Four Horsemen." Okay, so you get him on the Four Horsemen. You get, instead of this whole Arn Anderson spot bullshit, though that was a funny thing that they did with the NWO and the whole spot. Not your dog spot, but my spot. I have to admit, that was genius. And then, of course, Eric Bischoff takes it back. He's like, "Oh, we shouldn't have done that." Oh, go fuck yourself, Eric Bischoff. That was a great angle. It was funny. Yeah. At least I thought it was funny. But you either have him join at the beginning or you say no, and then he does what he did and up until 2 weeks before he turns on him. Okay, I'll be in tag matches with you, but I'm not a Four Horseman. Okay. I don't know where the Arn Anderson shit comes into it. Again, I don't really give a fuck about Arn Anderson because, again, he wasn't really he was mid-card at best. He was never a champion. He was always a tag champion. But
he would hang around Flair, and that's why he was kind of in that main event scene, even though
that's the only reason why he was in that main event thing is because him and Flair were best friends. Otherwise, no one would give a fuck about Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
No one would even know who he was unless you were around the territories, of course, and why he became Arn Anderson. That's not his real name. He became an Anderson with Ole Anderson. And it was the Minnesota group of Ole Anderson and someone else, Anderson. But anyway, they said, "Okay, you're now Arn Anderson. You are now a part of the Anderson group."
Yeah, so
made Arn Anderson like a cousin of Ole or whatever, but they really weren't. Yeah.
All right, so we should really. I've been trying to wrap up for 20 minutes. We keep talking, so we'll talk more wrestling with tomorrow. I should be able to make it. I should be a little better tomorrow. I hope.
I hope Kit can make it. I know Bill said he would be on. I don't know if Descent and Bloom said she would be on, but I'm going to extend it to her anyway. Dave said he would be on. Kit said
Alex
he has to check his schedule. Yeah, Alex.
He said he would be on.
So Kit said he had to check his schedule, so I don't know if Kit will be on or not, but hopefully he will, so we can talk about some wrestling.
Yeah,
We're going to show all my favorite clips and, of course, the bloopers that I saw on X of Kurt Hennig. I have some really great ones. The one with the Ultimate Warrior, we can see that one where he breaks the streak. Because, again, I don't think a lot of people saw that. And I didn't even know it was the Ultimate Warrior that took out the perfect streak.
Yeah,
the perfect record, I should say.
Yeah, so when will that air? Will that air on your birthday? Or
yes, Monday, April 20th. It will air on my birthday. Mm-hmm.
So we're filming it tomorrow, and it'll air the 20th. Okay, they have to WrestleMania, so look forward to that on her channel. Links in the description. But yeah, make sure you check out Angel in the Afternoon this Friday at 7. Hopefully, I'll feel a lot better because my allergies tend to pass after a week or two. But yeah, I felt like hell yesterday. I did a show anyways, and today a little better, but I can't even breathe with my nose and barely talk. So yeah, hopefully by Friday I'll be better. We'll not be on Pro Wrestling Talk next weekend because WrestleMania. So we gotta sit and watch through that slog. And then the week after that, we gotta review WrestleMania both nights and stuff. So yeah, so that's that.
And please pray for me that I don't have to go to stupid jury duty on Monday because, again, I don't like courthouses. I don't like our judicial system, and it makes me nervous being in one. So I can't imagine what it's going to be like if I have to sit there all fucking day. And I'll tell them the truth. Look, I don't trust our judicial system.
Yeah, it's like...
So hopefully I don't have to go and they just call me off because maybe they saw your show and were like, oh, nope, can't have her in there.
Yeah, so hopefully that doesn't happen. We got Friday, Angel in the Afternoon, nothing next weekend. The weekend after that, we'll review WrestleMania. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys this week. Well, that's all we got. We should have wrapped up 30 minutes ago. But nonetheless,
and then after WrestleMania, I definitely would like to do some...
we got to do... like
the Montreal screw job,
get together all that shit from the screw job. We could do like 2 episodes on that,
right?
But yeah, so check that all out after Mania. We're gonna continue. We're gonna do the show more often after Mania. So look forward to that. Thank you very much, everybody, for hanging with us and sitting through our soliloquies about past wrestling and stuff. Make sure you like and subscribe. Yeah, and share. And